tired. I'm tired. I am so tired. Let's wait for this to load. Oh. There we go. I was up so late last night doing a whole bunch of stupid math. Oh. Alright, let's see if stream is live here. And let's see here if it's live. And populating subscription feeds. Maybe. Yes. Yes, it is. Well, that's good to know. Oi. Oi, 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 oi. I gotta wake up. Since when did these guys respawn? That's kind of interesting. Am I gonna be able to take them out with this team? I don't think I am. I think the chances of that are very low. I don't have Deepwood either. So I wasn't going to do Kujo Sara today. I figured that out. I did figure out, though, that I need to do a lot of talent book stuff. Oh, God. Yeah, this is not the team for this. She's critting a lot. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. God. What's available today? Oh, I guess we gotta go do all this stuff. Because Prima Gems and frickin' Heroes Win are nice. You know what? I want to go kill Raiden first. Oh, I'm already loading. So why did I write down I needed 20 blue nucleus? So I have to take Kuki from 70 to 80. I need more elemental mastery. If I was to swap to an attack stance, I just wanted to see what my EM adjustment would be. Elemental Mastery Sands is just as good as an attack stance, huh? Elemental Mastery Goblet's not nearly as good as a Dendro Goblet. I guess you could go for more energy recharge subs, but I'm not going to get much better in terms of getting more spread damage out of my kirara. Unfortunately, she's going to cap out right around 200 elemental mastery, which is... If I could get it higher, spread damage would be more. But spread damage has a drop-off point as well. Because Nahida could buff it up by 250, but it's still not as good as Benedict Albedo's attack buff. Because Albedo runs... I mean, Yanahia's stuff just isn't as good as Peak Patrol Song, which is annoying. It's like, there's 5 characters that need to do what needs to be done, and there's no good way of, like, roping them all into it. What the heck? I don't know what it's talking about when it says asymmetric objects. I hope they make this really, like, easy. Maybe different sizes? No. Asymmetric typically means, like, not aligned or duplicated, like that. Okay. There's just 2 plants there. No. Okay, whatever. If I was designing it, I wouldn't have done it that way. But... Summer stuff's so cluttered. Say that shouldn't be there. Oh. Well, I know where the last 2 are, so... It's this one. And that one. Ay, 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 ay. God, this makes you so, like, ugh. Ugh. Just want to go kill Raiden, hop right in, start leveling up my Kuki. Just want to start leveling up my Kuki. But no, I need Prima Gems for refreshes. And it's 7 a.m. where I'm at, which doesn't help anything. Just the fact of being up late last night and having to deal with a whole bunch of... Oh my god, no. Is it throwing me into a quest that I didn't want to do? Of course it is. How do I get out of this? Shoot. Is it? Fuck. No. 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 No, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't need to do this. I don't want to do this. Get me out. 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 Please, 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 please. Thank the Lord. That is nothing that I want to do. Alright, let's do this. This one will be nice and hard, maybe? Who knows? I'd like it if it was. Oh, I forgot. Even though I have music off, it still does music. Whee! This is so difficult and so hard. Oh, you have lives. Okay. Well, I didn't want that speed buff. So that just kind of screws me up, eh? Oh, those things are more lives. Interesting. There's no penalty for hitting pots other than lives. You know, I can't imagine that this would be very easy on phone. You know, what's annoying is that this thing is speeding up, which I don't like. Why is it getting so much faster? It's giving me less time to adjust. Come on. How is there 4 minutes of this? You know what? Fuck it. Max score, bitch. Oh, I don't need that much momentum. Oh, no. That's how you max out your score. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh. Jesus. I hate that. Hate it. Hate it. I need to get like a chat bot or something. And I keep forgetting to do it for live streams. But I gotta get like a little guy that puts my info in the chat. That looks like people are actually chatting. Lots of bursts, eh? Well, my xilonen better. My Chiori better. Wouldn't it be funny if I just Chiori Albedo? We'd be throwing a Raiden, perchance, and a Bennett. Let's see what this does. No, I like the idea of superconduct. Because Farida bursts a lot. Oh, these are small little babies. Oh, I forgot to Farida burst. Oop, thief. But Chiori burst a lot. Why do these guys have Geo Shields? Since when have they had Geo Shields? Why did that not count? God, my Raiden does no damage. That's got to be on my to-do list. Fix my Raiden. For Christ's sakes. I gotta write that down. Don't let me forget that. Fix my Raiden. My Raiden is god-awful. Ugh. Compared to... Well, comparatively. It's fine for me. I've never needed more, but... God. At least these guys are easy to kill. You know, this would be like a good damage tester if it didn't increase your burst damage so much. Have I killed one of these yet? Is this new refresh? I must have if that guy was so quick to kill. Yoink. Yoink. See, that only gets him down to half, right? I'm just... Needs to do more damage. No fun. Well, I mean, that was fun, but comparatively. I like the combat challenges. You know, sadly, I didn't get really anything useful from that stuff. Well, I got a crown. Okay, well. Now, is there any point in doing this other stuff? Wherever it is. This stuff. Primos. Primos and books, eh? Does that give me all my encounter points? No, but that's fine. Let's go kill Raiden with, like, Chiori team or something, eh? Chiori Albedo. I'm liking that. I'm liking the sounds of that. Really liking Albedo right now. This team is really fun. Let me just make sure I have him on the appropriate weapon here. That boosts his stuff. Oh, my Chiori was doing that much damage with a level 1 Uraku? What? Jesus. I guess maybe I should look at leveling up Uraku too. Let me just write down Raiden Fix and Uraku 2. Now, the weird thing and kind of sad thing and whatever thing about it is I don't necessarily know if I want to do artifacts today because let me just exit out of this team because it's Sunday, you know? What day of the week is this? Okay, well, I could do this today. That could be fun. I would have to pre-farm for it because I don't think I have a single weapon mat. This would have to be like 2 Urakus because it's personal damage. Because that would be great on Albedo and Chiori and his xilonen team. Let's just try this out. Let's just see what it does. Albedo's Peak Patrol song is great, though. Just for the defense boost, because it scales as residual. Oh, come on. Why does she... Why was that like a 27k? Really? Thanks, Raiden. Okay, now can I beat her or no? I don't know if I can beat her this way. Probably I can. Just means all of her stuff is going to take way longer to get down. Oh, those destroy her sauce stuff. I think Uraku would be the best play, because I think Uraku's just going to boost his overall elemental skill damage harder than anything else. What? Who did I fight? That's annoying. Oh, but that's nice. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, we can never argue with Dream Solvent, baby. Oh, that's what we love. We love to see it. All right, let's go get these rewards and then think about if we're going to do Uraku today or not. Because that is going to be a determinant. I need one for Kirara, and I need one for Albedo. I mean, do I need another one on top of that? Do I need 3? Who would use it? Because I'd run them in geo-aligned teams, right? Or no, I don't want to do that. I'd go to Character Archive. And I can switch by weapon type, right? Alright, so these are all my sword users. Normal and elemental skill damage, huh? In geo teams. If I auto ran a geo character, that could be useful. Could be useful, kinda, on Ayaka. Is there ever going to be a situation where I need, like, a Kaching, Albedo, Chiori, or anything? Probably not. I don't think I need a third. Honestly, I think it should be okay. I'm hoping for Homa, baby. That's what we gotta get. And Mora. I need lots of Mora. Come here. Thank you. I'm gonna go craft some what's it called? Some of that good stuff. Some of that weapon level enhancement experience stuff. That's what we need. So I'll go get some of that from Nas here. God, I love Chiori. Chiori's amazing. I'll never get over Chiori. I really want to, like, crown her. Probably both of these. Just these are so annoying to get. And these are expensive. Really expensive. It costs a lot of Mora. And was that Spectral Husks I saw? Oh. God, that's foul. Hajime. Spectral Husks, man. Oh, I want obtain all. Thanks. Getting enhancement ore is just so horrible. I don't know why they don't let you just max craft a ton. Like, why is it time gated? It shouldn't be time gated at all. You know, it's also probably not a horrible idea to use some of our extra resin to farm Emblem of the Severed Fate a little bit. And then just strongbox the bad pieces, aka the Shimenawa's pieces. Or, you know, in my Kuki team. You know, Farina's probably better here. I know Bennett's a better buffer, but Farina's just going to deal damage. It'll end up being Farina into xilonen. No. Farina into Albedo, into xilonen, into Chiori. Chiori's the main damage dealer here. This is my other fun team. This is the people I gotta work on that need help. Let's see. I mean, I could take Kuki up, you know, or I could do Uraku, but I don't have the weapon enhancement ore for that, for Uraku, and I don't even have the weapons for that. Like, I haven't even been summoning. I don't think. I don't really have the yeah, like, I have very few 4 stars. So I don't quite know how expensive that's going to be, especially leveling up all these weapons, man. It's so much enhancement ore. It's so much. Like, I gotta stop at, like, level 70, probably. Because the crit damage is ridiculous here, but, you know. What does this take? This is what I got on Kirara now, but if I want to take it up for Albedo. Ruined Sentinels. We might be farming some funky stuff today, I'll say that much. Alright, let's go hit that domain. I think that's... We'll do Raku first. Yeah. Yep. I would level up Kuki. I did want to do a Kuki video, but I think she's at a happy place. I don't need to get her up to 80. The only thing that getting her up to 80 is going to do is boost her personal aggravate damage. Which I don't really think I need to do. And what I would otherwise need to do... You know, I might want to run Deepwood on her. Because Albedo takes, you know, Tenacity set. Right now I have Kuki on this weird hybrid HP Noblesse Glad thing, I'm pretty sure. No, Tenacity Glad. Yeah, I'd really rather have her on 4-piece Deepwood. Just with any random pieces. Because she's got stacked EM right now, but that's for her to deal a lot of aggravate damage. But she doesn't necessarily deal aggravate damage because her scaling is so horrible in the first place on her skills. So it's like, is really optimizing Kuki for damage the thing to do, you know? Because this boosts elemental skill more than Uraku and gives her a ton of crit rate. So it's like, what's even the point of Uraku on Kuki? You know, and I already got Peak Patrol Song on Albedo to buff. Leveling her up is just going to boost her aggravate. You know, it's not going to enable me to do anything different here. So I don't know. I think keeping her at 166 for a video would be fair. You know, not showing off too much investment, but just showing her what her kit can do. And just saying that there is an option of running 4-piece Deepwood, EM build, or whatever. I think that's fine. I don't want to touch Kuki, but I will farm Deepwood instead of Emblem. Because I need another Deepwood set. Bad. And Deepwood on Kuki is what I would need. And I don't want to just rip off my artifacts from Nahida. I'd rather have ones that are more tailored towards Kuki Shinobu with HP and EM. Because she doesn't need crit rate and crit damage. It would be nice, but she just doesn't need it, you know? So it's things to think about. God, she just kills everything so quick. Oh, come on. Be tankier. Let me have more fun. And I have to run Tenacity on Albedo, unfortunately, because I would much rather run him on Husk to give him that extra little geo damage bonus, but Tenacity just boosts the team here. Yeah, that's a 10k with not Uraku. You know? This team doesn't need Ito. This is like a mono Geo team without a Geo DPS. I mean, I guess you could say that, you know, Chiori is your Geo DPS, but like, I don't know. I don't know. My Kirara team kind of doesn't touch it in any sense of the world, or neither does my Dory team, which is unfortunate, but you know, my all 4-star teams do kind of take the blunt of the hit. Let's just group these guys up here and see what Jory does. Like, that's no fun. Well, it's fun. It's cool. It's nice to see big numbers, but, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I should do. Do a Chiori video for the last day, pretty much of the banner. Do a, you know, do something on Kuki for the upcoming. I think it's going to be better if I just do Kuki, because not a lot of people are releasing new Kuki things, I would imagine. The fact that I can get my xilonen to do 40k on burst is dumb. 128k Chiori. That is dumb. I'm pretty sure Albedo's just goes up and up because his elemental skill, only the residual hits scale with defense, not the initial. So it's like, he'll still have a ton of defense with Uraku. Yeah, it won't be 2,000, but he'll still have a ton. And I don't think his skills scale with attack either, honestly. I don't think they do. So I have some, like, finicky things to figure out with Albedo as, like, a quick swappy kind of guy. I never thought I'd use him so much, but he's just got, like, a completely reinvented kit with Peak Patrol Song and Uraku Misugiri. I mean, they're both amazing on him, so. The biggest buff is going to come when Farina drains and when, you know, xilonen buffs the heal. If there was another elemental type in this comp, it would be perfect for source samples, but not always. I believe it's on my Kirara. What's one refinement? 4%? I mean, let's crunch some numbers here. Let me switch my stream window. If we take a look, say we're going to do Chiori, right? She's 80 out of 90, C1. We're going to throw an Uraku on her, level it up. I'm just going to give her a standard husk set here. I believe I have her on a crit rate circlet, but let me check. Crit damage circlet, okay. So a crit damage circlet with a defense percent sans, because defense percent scales harder than attack on her, and a geo damage bonus goblet. All of these are 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. Let's just say 5.5, or is it 6, 7, 8? 8. It's 5.8, and it's 10.1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? It's 10.9 and 5.8. 5.8, 10.9. 5.8, 10.9, 5.8, 10.9, and let's just go 10.1. What's her overall CVCD? She's 57,249, so this is just a little bit less than what she actually is. Her elemental skill is level 8. Her elemental burst is level 8. Her normal attacks are level 6. I'm running her with a Farina, a Albedo, and a xilonen. Now, the secondary passive of Peak Patrol Song does not stack. So, that is fine. Alright, Xilonen's going to be buffing with Scroll. Albedo's going to be buffing with Tenacity. And Farina is going to be buffing with nothing. What's her overall defense here? 1846. My defense is higher at 2375. Hey, Pankaj. Hi, how are you? So with my overall defense being at higher, I'm just going to raise this up to, what does it go to? 10-1? 2. 10-2. That puts me at 19 there. Let's go to another 10-2. That puts me at 2026. Let's go to 10-2. 21. 117, and then let's go up another 10-2. That's a 22. That's close. Okay, so if we go, and we're talking like a level 100 group 1 enemy. No, she does not. So with, I'll show you really quick here. So with Arlecchino's kit, right? I don't have her, so I can't display her in-game. But essentially, what's cool about her C1 is that it is not the craziest in terms of, like, skill damage, right? So, it's just decreasing how much she, like, can get hit and how much she gets, you know, stopped by, essentially, when she's normal attacking in her ability. So Albedo, or sorry, not Albedo, zhongli reduces, right, interruption resistance. But with anybody else, like, you could literally use any other shielder that you're comfortable with, that you have built, that, you know, would kind of be able to also help with interruption resistance. Now, what's cool is, let me go to Genshin here and I'll show you. Toma provides not only a pyro damage resistance when you use him in team, but he does also generate a shield. So he is going to develop this blazing barrier, right, which gives him a pyro damage absorption shield. So this scales off of his HP. The fact that he's shielded gives him a little bit of interruption resistance. Beto also gives interruption resistance inherently. So where is Beto? Here. So I believe it is, yeah, she gives interruption resistance when her burst is procced to Thunder Beast's Targ. So this creates like this lightning-y circle around her. So you can use that in like an overloaded Arlecchino setup where, you know, your interruption resistance is decreased. There's another character that I can't think of off the top of my head that decreases interruption. I think it might be Goro at C6, which is kind of odd. Increases crit. No, yeah, I don't think it's a constellation. I'm pretty sure it's his elemental skill. Yes, impregnable. 2 geo characters. Increased resistance to interruption. So if you were to somehow snap in 2 geo characters into your Arlecchino build, recently pulled for xilonen for Nuvi, upcoming patch 2, you'll get Nuvi C1R1. Yeah, hell yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would totally recommend that. Nuvi's one of the greatest characters in the game. I simply don't have him because I didn't play when he released either, or when he had any release, essentially. A team that would work with Goro here is probably going to end up being, another Geo shielder type enemy. Favorite non-conventional is probably this Albedo, Xilonen, Chiori team I'm running, but that's no fun because it's a 5-star team. I am a Dory main, and this is, where is it? This is like my go-to team. This is essentially a spread Dory that is quite ridiculous when you get it stacked up. So, or no, this is Hyperbloom Dory. Where's my spread team? Yeah, I'm still working on getting her up, but this is my new favorite team in the game. I'll show you here. Let's find something fun to go kill. I know there's stuff in Notlin on this ley line right here, because this is fun. I'm also working on my Kirara. I run her with Uraku Mitsugiri and turn her into this like Night Soul Blessing state elemental skill user. So whenever she like enters her elemental skill and enters cat form for a long time, it just hits like 10k, 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 10k on spread. It's quite fun. So the way this team works, it's a little bit funky because Xilonen doesn't buff any damage herself, but this is without Bennett. I'm getting interruption resistance. So we plop Bennett down. You see the spread damage there hitting around 22k. Let's go back to Xilonen. Let's get some Nahida thrown on there. So since my Dory is C6, it imbues her normal attacks. So you just saw an 11k there. Using her ultimate like this, whenever it hits enemies, reduces elemental skill cooldown. So this is kind of my stupid fun team that I really, really love. And it's got a ridiculous amount of healing. You can't beat it anywhere. You get Bennett, Xilonen, and then you have Nahida. So it's like you have literally permanent uptime. Another team I have been looking at for double aggravate instead of Xilonen. Xilonen is just better, but you can run defense Kuki Shinobu with tenacity. So this team has no tenacity. It's just Noblesse, Glad, full Glad for normal attack boost. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be for like just a weird funky aggravate setup. I am using Kuki currently in my Kirara team, just as a sheer aggravate buffer. So for this, Albedo runs Peak Patrol Song, right? So he gets around 2200 defense. He's better than Xilonen here, because Xilonen doesn't reduce any type of Dendro damage. She just buffs Bennett and Kuki. So I do have her C2, but in terms of overall damage here, we go into Bennett, or sorry, not Bennett, Albedo with Peak Patrol Song. We get Bennett's circle down. We go into Kuki proc here, if these guys would come into the circle. Oh, come on. Okay, whatever. But you see some giant aggravates here, and then Albedo procs on top of it. Kuki hits pretty hard. Oh, yeah, this is also with a level 1 Uraku Mitsugiri that she's hitting these numbers. Let me switch her weapon out, and then you'll actually see. I haven't played Wu-Wa in a while. But yes, I have played it. It is a great game. And I would love to get back into it, but being a Genshin content creator is demanding as hell. I usually have to play the game for around 3 to 4 hours a day. I usually stream it just to be able to get enough content out. And then I have to record a video, edit the video, post video, make shorts here and there. Yeah, I try not to, but holy God in heaven, because I try and post daily. Yesterday I couldn't because I was actually doing this. I was prepping for tomorrow. I have a really crazy math proof that is going out to fix, essentially, spread damage. So this team is quite fun, because you're seeing, like, 17k quickens outside of Kuki. Or, sorry, outside of Bennett. You get Kuki down, and it's just so crazy. Like, 23k elemental skill, 56k burst. You get a lot of burst uptime. This is without any, like, Nahida or anything like that. It's just a nice little quick swappy team where you proc lots of aggravates. Let's go back through the rotation again. Yeah, I personally enjoy that. I'd rather... I mean, well, here's the other thing. So, I frequently post because I enjoy frequently posting, and I like getting new things out for people to enjoy. So, you know, my subscriber per view count is maybe 5% on all my videos, right? But for me, if 5% of 2,000, 5% of 1,000 is 50 people, 5% of 2,000 views is 100 people. If 100 of my subs are watching my videos and enjoying them, then that's really all that I could ask for. I mean, that's awesome, you know, at the end of the day. 100 people enjoy my content or are watching my content consistently. Doesn't matter what the views are. And yeah, Wuwa is going to get better. 100%. 100%. Genshin really cares about all their games. Some people say they like neglect them. I don't think that's the case at all. I honestly think that they're going to do a good job. And they have been doing a decent job. But I'm just trying to get this other Uraku up for, you know, the purpose of getting one on Albedo. Alright, let's figure out how many total we need of these, right? Is there like a calculator or something I can use to do this? Yeah, I'm a little bit of a lore guy, so here's one that I want to give a good go at. Do you think Paimon is one of the Moon Sisters? Or do you think Paimon is... Well, yeah, do you think Paimon is one of the Moon Sisters? Give that one a crack. I gotta figure out how many more of those little branches I need quick before I hop back into this domain. I know it's available tomorrow, but I do want to invest a little bit in Kuki. That would be nice. I would enjoy that. Just a little bit of Kuki going up. Yeah, let's swap. I'm going to do a damage, not a damage calculator. I'm going to do an Uraku calculator here. Level 21 to, let's cap it at 71, because, that'll just tell me ascension mats that I need. Let's get character out of here. Alright, I need... Hello, zhongli. Zhongli Morax. Oh, we love that. Zhongli Morax. Wait, I don't require any more materials? That's gotta be wrong. Why, what? That's so wrong. Or maybe not. I don't know. We're all doing well. If she is, it's the last moon. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, Paimon has celestial imagery. She's gotta be... She has to have some type of connection to the story. If she's the other Moon Sister, that'd be really cool in the game to do. Especially if they explain this lore. DPS Zhongli is amazing. Hopefully UFC 6 Zhongli, because that makes it even funnier. Well, not funnier, but it just makes it better. There's so much cool stuff you can do with Zhongli. He's so versatile. People complained, they buffed him, he got even more broken, and then it's just like, well. Now you got this cracked out character that has no business being as good as he is. He is an Archon, but, I mean, Christ. He is crazy good. Especially with the resistance shred on his shield on top of Georesonance that you can get in most teams. It's just phenomenal. It really is. So, I mean, I got Araku kind of figured out. I feel like it might be a good go to try and get the rest of, like, try and get a piece together set of Deepwood. Hey, I don't know if you're working in USD, but if you spent 600 USD, got a C6 and R5, whoa, you are one lucky person. I will say that and stand by that, because my freaking, I think my C3 Kaniche probably cost me around $800. C3 R1 Kaniche cost me way too much money. This is my highest constellation featured 5-star on my account. Next would probably be Kazuha at C2, but I rarely ever use Kazuha. It was my worst investment ever. I do want to main Shiori, though, like, really bad, and I want to get constellations on her. How many zhongli per 40 pills is crazy. You know what? I say we toss, I don't know, what do you say we toss 30 to 40 on the Chiori banner here. Let's just see what happens. Because I got the 50-50, you know. I'm guaranteed Chiori at pity. Let's just see if Genshin wants to be nice to me and just throw me the C2. Sayu, Candace. Wow. I was just about to say, did I get all of the the featured? I didn't pick up the crown for this month. I don't think I need it, but I think that's 30. This will get me some weapon XP. That's either 40 or 30. I mean, that's cool. I don't know what con I have him, though. One more 10 pull, and then I'll check my from an 8 con. Unfortunately, this is going to be featured 4-star now. We'll do one more. What am I at? 83? Yeah, that's fine. This gives me, what, 4? So then 6. 6 times 160 is 960. Yeah. This is interesting. The game is not nice. We'll come back and rip single pulls into that after I check from an cons. Woo, I just moved my Genshin window. Where is Fremine? C1, huh? I mean, that's kind of cool. I've never really looked at Fremine. You could probably DPS him, honestly, being a Claymore user, but it doesn't look like he gains any type of infusion. So DPSing him might be a little tricky because he's like a physical builder. Unless he gains infusion, and I'm just a goose. No, my luck is gone. Oh, it's gone. It's because you're here. It's because you're telling me that you got 40 pulls per zhongli, essentially. And probably, well, you had to have hit all your 50-50s for the most part. That math is just crazy. I mean, the chances of that are goddamn so slim. So now I'm 4 over 70, I think. So this is 5 over 70. This would be 6. And then 7. It's always better to single pull up to 80 because the exponential chance. Yeah, I mean, I've spent way too much money on this game too. You can just tell when it's a 4-star, or sorry, a 3-star. You just know. Dragon's Bane, that's the greatest weapon in Genshin Impact right there. I do want C2 Chiori. I want to see how it'll boost her damage here. You know, she's not going to come back out for a very long time. I guarantee it's going to be a Shenhe situation. You know, which is sad. But I don't need guaranteed pity on, you know, the next banner. I'm not going to be summoning for any Nagita cons or, you know, Hu Tao cons. This is just even more damage, you know. It's just after using her ult, summons this little Kinu doll. This little Kinu doll is going to be summoned every, you know, 3 seconds after using the ult for 10 seconds. So you can get 3 instances of this. So essentially, you can probably get 3 AoE 170 hits off of, you know, per skill. It's going to deal 170% of her skill damage as far as I'm aware. No, I'm not a whale. I'm like an orca. You know, I'm not a blue whale, and I'm not a narwhal. I'm more of like a, I would say a killer whale or an orca. You know, I'm getting there. I guess. I mean, I probably have spent $4 to $5 grand on this game. Nothing. Well, I mean, yes, that's a huge number, but relative to some other people, I don't think it's nearly as horrible. But maybe that's me coping. That's probably me coping. Yeah, I would too if I had the time, unfortunately. You know, I haven't played consistently. I played on and off, but this is the most consistent I've been playing since release. Just because of content creation. You know, I've been making, you know, content for about 2 weeks now, and probably been playing the game for about a month straight since Notland's release. So, I think I'm going to hit up Deepwood. We got to do at least 2 refreshes for Deepwood. All right. Where is this domain? It's like here. Yeah. I'm loving the game. I mean, honestly, Notland is... I mean, I didn't like Sumer when it came out. I don't know if that's a hot take. I didn't like it. All right. Have a good night, man. I didn't like Sumer when it came out. I loved Fontaine, and God, Notland's just a step up from Fontaine. Fontaine's quests were amazing. The story, amazing. I just clear it too fast. Clear it too fast. I want a damage test. I want a damage test. There's no buff to Geo in this domain. You know, I don't know if I hate that for defense scaling Kuki. I don't know if I hate that. It's got an EM sub. This would be great if I was just running a standard Kuki with Peak Patrol Song. That's actually a good piece. Because it's got an EM sub, you know? Like, someone might look at that and be like, that's horrible. Why would you use that? But for me, you know, I see potential in everything. Especially with kind of more niche substats like EM. EM has a lot of use. Like, a lot of use in application builds. And it has an obscene amount of use in... you know, other random scenarios. Like, unfortunately, this is not a good piece, right? It's a 4-liner, which is awesome. You have a 20% chance of getting a 4-liner out of, you know, any domain run. But there is literally no use case for a 4-liner with no crit, no ER, no No nothing. No EM. Well, Chiori's doing a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. There we go. That's nice. EM sub. Defense percent. ER. Perfect Chiori. Or perfect Deepwood piece, in my opinion, for Peak Patrol Song Kuki. Assuming you need a Deepwood set. Doing artifacts on Sunday feels a little cursed, but it's okay. It's alright. Oh? Good for Kuki. It's good for Kuki. Defense main stat. It's good on Kuki. I don't care. It's good. I don't care. I'm just going to probably end up strongboxing the other pieces that I get that don't really apply. Do I even need to use alt here? No. God, that's crazy. Either give me shitty strongboxable pieces or somewhat usable. Yeah, that's fine. That's not. I don't need HP. Hello, CJ. How are you? Do you have any questions or anything I can help you out with? Any character questions, lore questions that I can attempt with the lore? I'm not as good with the lore, but I have a good idea about the lore. For the most part. Right now, I'm just hitting some domains quick because I'm trying to get a Deepwood set for my Kuki Shinobu with defense main stats that I can run as kind of a Peak Patrol Songy-ish build, which would be pretty cool. And, you know, I'm just getting some strongbox pieces and stuff like that to just try and get, like, a comparable Deepwood set. With EM being boosted in this domain, all the damage of this Geo team here is just raw. Unfortunately, there's no boost, but it's fine. It's still kind of quick. Albedo still procs hard. Chiori still procs hard. Nice to meet you. Yeah, throw me your Nahida question. I like to consider myself a Nahida fanatic because she is amazing and not a lot of people appreciate her for what she is, you know. And it's good to hear you found me by scrolling. Oh, this is a perfect Kuki piece. Yes! Yes! Peak Patrol Song Kuki piece. Defense main stat is what I need. All right, so check this out now. Do I have four legendary Deepwood pieces? I have 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, and then I have a flower. I want one more. A defense Sans would be perfect, but I can throw a defense off-piece Sans on her. That's fine. This isn't even with fanfare. I gotta try this team out in Abyss or something like that. Seem to be getting up to 125s. I wonder if Bennett would make it do more. No, Nahida does not need crit unless you are on-fielding her. So, if you have C2 Nahida, she enables... That's really good. She enables, essentially, you know, actual Hyper Bloom damage, crit damage, spread damage, all that kind of stuff to crit. So, looking at Nahida here, cons are amazing on her. She has some of the best cons in the game. C1 is great because it adds an additional count to your Illusionary Heart right off the rip. So it essentially adds an extra one of these bonuses. So you start off with 2 depending on whatever characters you have or whatever. So that's great. But naturally, Hyper Bloom, Bloom, Burgeon, Burning, none of that crits. Nahida C2 is the only case in the game where it enables them to crit, but it is a fixed crit rate and crit damage. So even if you build crit on Nahida, it doesn't affect those reaction damages. Now, if you're using her as a main DPS and using her auto attacks, then yes, you can build crit on her because her normal attacks deal straight up dendro damage that can have crit rate and crit damage procced onto them. Her elemental skill can crit, but the reactions it procs don't crit. So if you're using her elemental skill for reaction damage, don't crit. Like, don't go for crit at all. But if you are trying to deal as much physical damage as possible with Nahida's auto and E, then yes, you can build crit. But it does not scale as well as EM. If you're using her in a spread aggravate team, I built a calculator API for this specifically last night using some atrocious calculus, which I will show you here. Essentially, it's a spread damage calculator for different types of scenarios. So C is your damage bonus multiplier. This red line here is essentially the amount of EM, which is X, to the amount of damage multiplier you're going to get, which is Y. And this is the optimal place for you to get them. So let's say your Nahida is, I don't know, level 80, right? And you have a Dendro Goblet on her, which is 46%, Dendro damage bonus. And, you're triggering aggravate or spread reactions. At spread, the optimal amount of EM you're going to want on Nahida is 779 for level 80 purely, right? At level 80. That is like your most bang for buck, low investment version. Now, obviously, it scales a lot higher the more you go, but this is kind of the knee of the curve here. So everybody likes to run Nahida over 1,000 EM because her ultimate illusionary heart, caps at 250 team-wide bonus. It boosts herself as well. So she can get up to 1250. So 1250 EM does scale up to the very peak of this curve here, turns her aggravate spread multiplier into a great number, being, around freaking 5,290. And then when you plug this into your total damage calculator, I mean, it makes a big difference. This much aggravate spread type multiplier, it's exponential as it increases. So you're going to get a lot more benefit out of this. This is all the calc that I did. Don't worry about like any of this stuff. Just sliders, fun stuff. I'll put this here in the chat. So if you need to essentially take a look at what you're trying to calculate in terms of what's optimal. Nahida, really just build as much EM as you want, but I mean, you can never go wrong with more EM. But if you're worried about not having enough to kind of reach a good potential, then use the chart. And that goes for any character. Yeah, she doesn't need to be a support. You can on-field her. She does really well on-field. And you can build her crit. My Hanahida just unfortunately doesn't have, the greatest setup. I run her with her R1. Love her. I know you said you have C1 R1. C1 is nice. You're already getting that. Or did you say C0 R0? Or no, you didn't even say anything. No, if she has 1,000 EM, if you're running her best in slot or not, that's perfect. If you don't have her best in slot, though, I would think about it on the next banner because it's an amazing catalyst. Lots of people can use it. It boosts elemental mastery and damage bonus by the amount of elemental types that are in the party. So if you're running her in a Hyperbloom team, say you have... Yeah, so if she's only at 78%, that is... Yeah. Well, because the number that I showed you, hovering around 1,000 is 78% of cap. It's just I have the saturation point calculated as 0.734. That's the ratio of the saturation point that I showed you here, which is here. Nope, here. This number itself is 0.734 of, capacity. It's essentially the value of X elemental mastery over your character damage multiplier. That's this number. It has to equal a ratio of 73.4%. If you're at 78, you're like up in here, It's saying you're around, 8 to 900 EM, which is fine. Akasha calculates it wrong. The reason why I built this is because every single goddamn Genshin damage calculator is wrong when it comes to calculating spread, aggravate, hyperbloom, and bloom damage in quicken reactions. It's just wrong. All of their calculus is wrong, unfortunately. I wrote up a whole big spreadsheet paper garbage bullshit on this, which I'll post on Reddit at some point. Essentially just showing, the whole different series of spread mechanics, and how it's essentially wrong. Because it's all wrong. It's just very much wrong. So, yes, Nahida, amazing. Build EM, you're good to go. If you want to build crit, more than welcome to build crit. Just know that it's not going to boost her reactions at all. It's just going to boost her raw elemental skill and raw normal attack burst. That's the TLDR, pretty much. I know that was kind of a long-winded explanation, but if it helps, then it helps. But, yeah, I mean, EM just pretty much, it scales infinitely. As much EM as you want. It just, there reaches a certain point where it's redundant to build EM over certain numbers in typical aggravate spread comps, because that damage does, in fact, scale with crit damage in the end, because it's just an additive reaction, whereas Hyper Bloom and all that kind of stuff is a fixed reaction. So, yeah, it's messy, unfortunately. But I did that last night, and I was just like, I don't know. I reached a point. I was just so irritated with how garbage all the other calculators. I mean, nobody explains the number. So, hey, thank you. No, I appreciate it. All the other calculators don't really do a good job. Shorts are shit posts, and sometimes the YouTube videos are, but a lot of them are mostly guides and stuff like that. Which is fun. I'm going to throw that Deepwood set on Barbara just to kind of see what it looks like before I level it up to make sure I'm okay with it. This doesn't scale with Kuki at all. Oh, I didn't get a feather. Which one am I using? This one. So I'm using this. I'm using this, which is perfect. And I'm going to use this. So let's go Strongbox for a feather or a sans. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I tend to know a lot of weird, convoluted shit about the game, which is odd, but I've done the math on pretty much every type of reaction in the game, and I'm a little bit of a whale, but it allows me to be able to really kind of push the bounds of what's possible and what's not possible, because just a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people get it wrong, unfortunately. Yeah. What's feather or flower? Or feather. Feather. Perfect. I don't care. It's just a garbage feather. I don't need a good feather. The thing is, with Kuki Shinobu, she doesn't really need crit rate because she's just a procer. She just procs. She doesn't deal damage. She just procs. Like, she doesn't really do anything. I was throwing those on Barbara. And I, unfortunately, don't think I have much XP. And I'm just going to use a main stat defense percentage Sands on her. Hopefully one that I already have built. So then I can run a nice Deepwood set on Kuki, run Tenacity on Albedo, and then be good to go. I'm going to end up ripping this for the ER, I think. Noelle doesn't need it. I never used Noelle. So we're going to level up Goblet because it's got the best scaling. We'll take this up to like level 8 or something. I really don't care what it runs into. I mean, that's the worst thing it possibly could have been, but jeez. Flat attack is fine. Her attack percent is fine. Crit damage is fine. Even though her attacks don't really crit at all, but Goblet's gonna scale harder than anything else. Wow, that hit flat defense every single time. I mean, I guess I need defense, so I mean, I shouldn't really be complaining because it's what I asked for. So, god damn. I don't know if I should go farm for more artifacts or what. Nuvi is free to play with HP weapon C0. He has 240 over 30 HP, around 34k, level 90. Yeah, no, that's totally decent. 240 over 30. That's totally fine, especially if you're running him with Maréchaussées. I really wouldn't touch anything. I don't have Nuvi, but I have a pretty good gauge of how his kit operates. You know, if you're doing something funky, you know, there are times where Hydro bonus is better, but I would tend to stick away from it or avoid it if you can. Mainly because it's not going to benefit you that much in the end of things. You're mostly just going to want to look at, okay, what do I have that can scale his HP and scale his crit damage with HP substats as well. I would just go HP because it makes it easy. It gives you a lot of flexibility. Yeah. 100%. You got on set, use Hydro bonus, of course. Yeah, if it's too hard to get, you can go HP and it's fine. But you know, if you can manage it, then 100% do it. It's just I know people that have low investment Nuvies and they're like, yeah, I just use HP on Gob and it's fine. And it's okay. It's not like you're hurting yourself too much. Scaling's just better with Hydra on it. You know, unless there's higher cons that affect his HP scaling, which I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I haven't really delved into his kit like crazy. Ideally, some EM substats, some more EM on her would be nice, but she's not going to be dealing aggravate damage, which doesn't matter because her character level multiplier is low. She is literally just here to serve as a defense stick. And I need more defense. Meaning I gotta level these up. Meaning I need more artifact XP. Meaning, what do I have? 4 more refreshes? 3 more refreshes. I'll hit 2 more here, run these into artifact domain, and we'll go from there. Nuvi is probably, I hate to say it, I mean, I think it's up for debate, but between Nuvi and Arlecchino, they're probably the best characters in the game right now. I mean, some people can argue other than that, like, C6 xilonen is stupid. I mean, ignoring C6, xilonen really shines at C2, so I don't know if it's fair to argue that she's on par. Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I can really only think of Nuvi and Arlecchino as kind of coming anywhere close to the top. I think this team is better with a Bennett attack buff, honestly, because there's literally not enough time for me to scale my damage to get Farina up even. If I wasn't dealing Frozen, that would be nice. And the cool thing is I am triggering Crystallize here, which enables Peak Patrol Song and xilonen to be happy and Hero of the Cinder City. Like the way that I do all of my damage calculations are essentially using Genshin Impact's raw damage bonus that is public on the Kaching Mains website. So if you go on Kaching Mains, I don't know the URL for it, but if you go on that website, you'll be able to find your total damage bonus, and you'll be able to calculate your character level multiplier without kind of going through every single manual number, which is fine. This is going to boost Jory Burst. I would recommend probably going and testing that out, because it tends to be better unless you're trying to do aggravate spread. Then it gets messy. I just wish this team cleared faster. It's supposed to. What can she get up to? Is xilonen providing a consistent buff for the team? Or is she only providing... Why is that low? Why is that only 17? And not higher? I feel like that should be okay. Now what is her buff? Oh, clears them. Okay, we'll have to check what her buff is after this. Should be higher. At 100% should be higher. Just trying to think here, like, what can I do? Stop giving me goblets. Give me feathers. Give me flowers. Like, for once, I'm actually asking for feathers and flowers. Hello, Bella Bembembabada. How are you? How are you doing today? Anything I can help you out with? Questions? Anything you got for the game? I'm not the greatest with lore. I mean, I know a little bit. I know there's some conspiracy theories and stuff, but I'm more of a numbers guy. I am like, if you have a numbers question, a constellation question, a talents question, I can usually make it happen. So I am a 4-star freak. I love my 4 stars. I am a Dory main. I am 100% a Kirara main now. I have wasted so many hours in resin on optimizing Kirara. As far as I'm aware, I have the highest damage Kirara in the world. So there's that. 29 days of playing, AR45, and today you got the blonde girl. Hey, congrats! The blonde girl happens to be one of the best girls in the game, and you got her at C0, which is awesome. You got to ignore my numbers. Do not look at these. These are gross. You see these, you want these, don't do it. You're 45 days into playing, don't do it. You like her talents, just level up her skill. Her skill's awesome. You know, for AR45, I think you can get her up now to level 8 and get those gold books and get her fully ascended. Might be a little bit tricky to get these though, because you might not have gone through Raiden yet, so I don't want to spoil anything. And I think in a couple weeks you should have enough of these. Maybe you'll have some Dream Solvent once you complete the second part of Zhongli's story quest. And you should be good to go, because I think he gives you one. So level up her skill. It's going to help you do a lot more damage. This set's really nice. If you don't have this, you can run Tenacity on her. Tenacity to the Millilith, which boosts team-wide attack and helps decrease elemental resistance. This is great because whenever she does a reaction with Geo, which is Crystallize, it just means that she's going to give the whole party member a 28% damage bonus. So her signature's great, but if you're going free, This is the best. Flutavest Pitzel is amazing. Flutavest Pitzel right here. This is perfect. Xilonen, Xialing, and Raiden Shogun. There you go. That's a great team. It's super fun because you get the healer with Jean. You got a nice support with Xilonen. Zhongli and Raiden Shogun allow you to get overloaded. You know, Xilonen is just that little bit of extra damage in there for you. That is a great piece. And, yeah, I mean, hell. I think you got it down pat. You know, if you wanted more damage, certainly there's more things you could do. If you wanted to, you know, change it up a little bit, there's certainly more things you could do. But Jean gives you, you know, some swirl. Jean gives you some heals. Lumine gives you some damage. And Raiden Shogun is probably your main DPS, I would imagine. And she's amazing. You just build Elemental Recharge on her. You can build her with the catch, which is free. It's awesome. Jean, you can build her physical DPS. That's what I did for a while. That was fun. You know, I love Jean. And, you know, you could also... I mean, Zhongli, you could also just build energy recharge, you know? It's nice. You know, there's nothing really that you can't really go wrong with that team. I don't know too much about Xilonen, but I'm pretty sure you can just build her geo damage bonus, attack and defense %. You know, just your standard build. I would probably stay away from defense % and focus more on pure attack % and crit damage, but it's a great team. You did a good job. Did you have any help? Did anybody, any of your friends or anybody online kind of help you out, or did you do that yourself and kind of put that together? Because now that you're AR-45, you're going to be getting some good artifacts. Some of those 4-star artifacts. And also, if you're an exploration lover... Oh, I reached my daily limit, huh? If you're an exploration lover, I would totally recommend trying to get all of these little pottery shards that come in through Notland. And with those pottery shards, you can get some Scroll of the Hero of the Cinder City set pieces for your xilonen. Yeah, I mean, you put together a good team. You know, the only thing that, you know, you probably got a lot of investment into Xilonen. You know, Jean helps out with the swirl. If you wanted to make an adjustment and you have your xilonen, you know, in a comfy place, I would swap out Jean for xilonen, because with Jean instead, or sorry, with xilonen instead, you get all of Xilonen's awesome buffs, and you get Geo Resonance. So xilonen will help out your Zhongli, Raiden, and your Xilonen by decreasing elemental resistance and increasing elemental damage with Hero of the Cinder City. And she gives healing with her ultimate. And you can build her really simple and easy with defense %, you know? So, once you have her good to go, she's going to be even better for you than Jean. You know, but, you know, that's like if you really want to get crazy and optimize. But, I mean, I think your team's great as it is, so you should be good to go. You know, if you wanted to make a second team, maybe you're thinking about Abyss eventually or something like that. Xilonen's going to be awesome pretty much with anybody that you stick her with. You know, you can't really go wrong with her, which is what's really nice about her. What's your other team? Do you got 2 teams? Do you have one for one side of the Abyss, one for the other? Do you not really do Abyss? Do you like Imaginarium Theatrum if you've done it yet? You got, what do you like? What do you like? Only one Abyss team. All right. I love it. Hey, well, 29 days to build 4 characters is a big ask. I hope I'm not spoiling anything with the regions. If I am sorry. But it's kind of hard to avoid on the internet. I'll avoid talking about story and stuff like that for a little bit while you're here. But, yeah, 1 team in 29 days is pretty good. I have to turn out a character a week. For videos. Yeah, the Notland story is awesome. It's really cool. The cutscenes are great. Um, I this isn't spoiling anything, but it is like the most darkest and emotive story quest by far in the entire game, I would say. For sure, for sure. I would, you know, Sumeru is awesome, right? It's just really, 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 really long. And you can jump from story quest to story quest, or sorry, Archon quest to Archon quest. You can kind of do them interchangeably. I think you would have a lot more fun if you went from Inazuma to Fontaine and then did Notland, and do Sumeru last. Sumeru is by far the longest, in my opinion, because it's a lot of text, and I don't want you to get turned off from the game unless you're really excited about it and you love the region and you love the ideas. Just for me personally, I wasn't that big into it. I still haven't done as any of the desert story or really any type of exploration in the desert, and there is a lot of desert. Um, there is a nice little side quest in Sumeru though, called the Vanarana stuff. That is really fun. It's just very, very long. It's about a 12-hour world quest. That's multiple parts in series. Fontaine does have another one as well. It's the story of the Narcissa Cruise. That is another 12-hour story quest. Like to finish the quest of that region, then move on because I'm lazy to do the quest from the other. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's fine. 100% Mondstadt in a month. Good job. That's awesome. Mondstadt's fun. Mondstadt's short. Mondstadt's fun. Mondstadt is Mondstadt. You know, you can't really beat it. If you're a 100%er, you know, Mondstadt's a great place to start because it helps you kind of get familiar with how Genshin's puzzles work and stuff like that, which is really cool. When you unlock the artifact strongbox, you'll enjoy it because this makes your life a lot easier when you start to kind of get up there and level, and things become a little bit more tricky to get. Unfortunately, and expensive. Everything's expensive, which stinks. I'm not a fan of of expensive building characters. I would issue you a piece of advice, like with all the materials you have now, really hold off on taking any characters up to level 90 for as long as possible because it's really expensive and it's really gosh darn frickin' like expensive. Like the amount of materials it requires is insane. You know, across the board. So I would avoid really any type of any type of 90ing if you can. You can get them up to 80, but realistically, I mean, to even clear Abyss, you really only need your characters at like level 71. You know, that's really about all you need. Nothing really much crazier than that. Nothing ever gets more crazy than that, unless you want to start going for like stars and stuff like that to, I don't know, get even more freaky with it. But game is fun. Can't complain. I need more of these, huh? Let's go find some of these guys. Because I don't think I can grab them with Stardust. Yeah. Dropped by Ruined Sentinels. Alright, let's go find some. I have to shoot a quick text and check chat here. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. All right, perfect. Anything else you got questions with? Exploration stuff, any type of, weird little niche question in terms of, like, either character building, lore, quests. Because things can get freaky and weird and stuff, which isn't always the most fun. I also have to get some Amakuno fruits, I believe, for Kirara when I do want to bring her up. I just gotta find where they are. Let me think. Let me think about that really quick. If you're gonna run that team with xilonen instead of Jean, no. I think it would be better off if you went a Nemo Traveler, since you probably have some constellations for a Nemo Traveler right now, and xilonen. You will probably end up having a better time with Hydro Traveler, probably, with some of her Hydro application for Vaporize and for Electro Charge, and kind of more of a national team. By throwing Dendro in there, even though she's a nice off-field Dendro, the only thing you're going to be triggering is either your Burgeon or Spread. Or not Burgeon, sorry, Burning or Spread. You're not going to really be able to capitalize, or not Spread, Quicken. You're not going to be able to capitalize on Quicken, because you'll have to deal Aggravate, and if you have Zhongli on the field, it's going to cancel it out, and you're going to end up dealing, like, funky, weird numbers that don't hit with each other and scale with each other well. You're essentially taking an additive reaction and trying to throw a compounding, an exponential reaction on it, which is a little weird. It doesn't always scale the best. And unfortunately, Dendro has no Anemo scaling for the most part, which is sad. There's not much you can do with Dendro and Anemo in the same team. So, having Jean in there doesn't always make the most sense, sadly. It stinks, but it is what it is. Traveler in general is just very nice. I currently don't have her kitted out with artifacts, but I do have my Traveler leveled up with pretty much as many constellations on her as I can get. That's a little spoiler sword. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that was on there. But you can pretty much run any weapon on her. You want to run Geo Traveler, this is a great sword. Prototype Rancor, great craftable 4-star sword, especially if you're normal attacking with her. Increases attack and defense, some physical damage. Another great free sword, ironically, is this one, when you do get it. Because it's got attack percent on it. Any of the 3-star swords are great. Harbinger of Dawn. This is really good, especially if you have Jean and you're staying really healthy. The crit damage and crit rate is nice. This is cool if you have a Hydro support. This is cool for Vaporize and stuff like that. And then where is the other fun one? Skyrider. Here we go. So this is probably the best for, Dendro. Or sorry, not Dendro. Well, Dendro or Anemo Traveler. Or Geo. This is probably like her best 3-star option. Yeah, CJ, no worries. Yeah, of course. And you could essentially just go on Kaching Main's website. I'll show you here. It is Kaching Main's TCL. I'll put this here. This is their additive reactions calculator, which is wrong. I would use mine to calculate the additive reaction number that you need, and then essentially use mine to get your character level multiplier. And then from there, you want to look at not transformative reactions, not elemental gauge theory. You'll want to look at the raw damage formula. Plug in all of the values that that website gives you, the second link there, in terms of the general formula for damage. That'll give you what you need. But Bella, so I would really go with this for any situation because of the 24% increase in attack. This is awesome. Awesome sword. 3-star. That's great. You don't need to worry about 4-star unless you want to go Rancor or another craftable. This is always really cool when you can get it. Because this helps out with any electro reaction. And there's some fun ways to get it. So any type of electro is fun. This is really good because of the elemental mastery. And it is also good on Dendro. So some good 3-star options that are pretty quick and easy to build. I don't know why xilonen is dealing that much damage, but it is what it is. Trying to think here. What else do I need? I mean, I really just need these Chaos Oculus stuff for, Raku. I gotta farm Amakuno fruits for Kirara, and I think I might need some mats, some like spectral nucleus for Kugi Shinobu and Chiori's skills when the time comes. It's atrocious. It's built really poorly. But it's Peak Patrol Song R1. The theory behind this is there is a cap to this. The theoretical defense cap that you can have to maximize the defense bonus out of this is 3,200. And that is across the board for any percentage because this scales relative to this. So even if you have multiple refinements, the maximum defense that you can essentially have will never change for the most part. It'll go up to like 3,500 and give you a little bit more of a boost, but you're pretty much going to be capped at like 32 to 3,500 always to gain the maximum amount of bonus here possible. Artifacts or best in slot is Scroll the Hero of the Cinder City. I have her defense percent, and then this is crit rate with the defense percent substat. The reason why I have her on this and not a main stat defense percent piece, which would be somewhere, is because I simply don't need more defense percent, and this in and of itself is valuable enough to her kit to where it kind of makes her a little bit more flexible in terms of overall damage. So that's why I have her set up this way. Scroll Hero, the Cinder City. The TLDR of this is any elemental reaction related to Geo that xilonen deals boosts all party members' damage when they, with whatever reaction that she enhanced with Geo. So if she's dealing, if she's making a Pyro Crystallize, then all Pyro damage is going to be boosted by 28% additionally. All right, so I think it goes up to like a 12% elemental damage bonus. When she's not in her Night Soul Blessing state, which is essentially her elemental skill. If she is in her skill, then it is 28%. And this effect cannot be stacked across multiple characters. This 4-piece set stops here, essentially, after this 15 seconds, if you are running it on one character. All right, Bella, have a good one. I'll see you. I do have her C2. Her C1 is essentially decreasing how much Night Soul points she consumes in her elemental skill, so she can be up for longer. and deal more damage during it. This is not really useful at all unless you're trying to on-field her more. And her C2 is her best constellation aside from C4, but I'll get into C4 in a second. Her C2 allows pretty much any character to, deal additional damage matching their elemental type. So all characters gain these bonuses. So since I have a Pyro bonus here, so whenever her source samples are active, if I had 2 Geo, a Pyro, and a Hydro, or 2 Geo and 2 Pyro, all party members would gain a 50% damage bonus. All party members would gain a 45% attack bonus on top of initial resonances, on top of Enduring Rock, and on top of Fervent Flames for both of these. This is just purely additional. And you can mix and match these how you want. It just doesn't boost an Emo or Dendro at all. That's why she's not really useful in those teams. Because typically if you have a Dendro character in the team, you're not going to be really generating source samples. Or I don't think you can. Unless it counts xilonen as itself. It gets a little funky. So yeah, there's that. And C4 is pretty much just taking 65% of her defense and using it to increase normal charge and plunging attack on all characters in your party for 15 seconds, and it either allows for 6 hits or a full 15-second duration when you hit an opponent. C5 and C3 are just upgrades. C6 essentially kind of turns her into a on-field DPS for, all intents and purposes, and all heals party members a ton off of her defense and deals all of her auto attacks essentially in her Night's Old Blessing state deal an additional 300% increased damage on top of the 65% decreased damage that she grants with C4. So it really turns her into an animal. A literal animal. But don't C6 xilonen unless you want to take her as a DPS. There's really no need to DPS xilonen. Her numbers aren't anywhere near as good as other Geo DPSs. So it's a very expensive, mediocre Geo DPS, in my opinion. Although C2 is probably her most valuable con. I would say it is. So, my xilonen isn't kitted the strongest, but I think she's pretty well optimized. So, even if she's not the strongest xilonen in the world, so when I'm attacking here, her source samples aren't activating, so her C2 isn't getting procced here. But if you take a look, you'll see a 45% damage bonus for all party members. This is because of Scroll Hero of the Cinder City, and this is also because of her Peak Patrol Song. This does not factor in elemental damage bonus res decrease. This is because of I know this is because of her C2, because her Geo source samples are getting filled up, but not her Pyro source samples. So she's not gaining an extra 45% attack or whatever it is from C2 because Pyro source samples aren't filling up. But her Geo ones are, I think. No, they have to activate. Yeah, because they always remain active. Yeah, the Geo source samples always remain active. Yeah, C2 is ridiculously broken because it essentially, if you have Ganyu, 60% crit damage on Ganyu and Mulanni. And then if you have Mulanni, you gain 45% more HP, which Mulanni scales with HP. So, kind of stupid. Really good. Really good. It's just, extra crazy for no reason. But yeah, her Geo source samples always remain active, so you can run her in a mono Geo team and not have to worry about filling up her source samples. It just means that she's not going to fill up Pyro. She's not going to get this Pyro buff from Bennett, pretty much. That's it. She deals a fair amount of damage in her Night's Soul Blessing state. You can see there's this little meter here. and it drains, and that's essentially how long she's allowed to be in that state for. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, I guess, more of a broader approach to how her kit works. It's just I haven't seen anybody talking about Peak Patrol Song essentially having a cap. Like, I haven't seen a single guide saying, yep, Peak Patrol Song does not give any more benefit after X amount of defense. Nobody's talked about it. I don't know why, which is kind of annoying because I'm sure people are like, yes, I will put as much defense as possible on my characters. Well, if you're going to run Peak Patrol Song on Shiori and you're just using her as a support, it doesn't make sense to build a shit ton of defense on her unless you're, trying to scale her elemental skill and damage and stuff like that. If you're trying to build Kuki Shinobu, who doesn't scale with defense at all, and you want to essentially just use her as an elemental damage buffer, it's redundant to get her past a certain defense percent. Yeah, if you're playing a build for Ito, her C2 is amazing. My Ito team is cracked if I had good artifacts on him and would show you. I don't have Redhorn Stone Thresher because I'm a little bit of a goose and didn't realize that it's probably the best Claymore in the game when it came out. And Ito doesn't really get reruns because Genshin doesn't like Ito. I don't know where this little thing is. The other funky thing is that I'm pretty sure Chiori has a higher DPS than Ito. Unless you have Ito with best in slot and with, really high investment. Where is this thing? It says it's below me. C2 xilonen just buffs pretty much every team other than, like, kind of niche-y, like, Anemo Dendro teams. She can boost Dendro teams. You just got to be careful with what you're doing. Like, I run her in... Oh, I can't... Okay, I can't show you. But I run her in my Dory team, which has a Dendro in it, which is okay. Because it's also Hydro and... Like, you can run her in a Hyperbloom team. Who is it now? It's Hydro and something else. I can't think off the top of my head. Yeah, it's Dory Bennett. So she fills up Geosource Sample, Electrosource Sample, and Pyrosource Sample. She doesn't make sense to use in this team because when trying to get as much damage out of Kirara as possible, you need constant elemental skill procs for Tenacity, and you don't want to run Tenacity xilonen, and you're trying to boost Dendro damage, so you can't make Dendro crystallized shields with that, and you'd end up boosting Electro damage, which boosts Aggravate reactions, not spread reactions, which is what you need to deal damage with Kirara, so it just doesn't make sense to use xilonen here, and it's really, because I used the Hoyo version in a recent event, he did not even hit 8k. Didn't want to do Navi numbers. Alright, let me prove a point real quick. I have a completely free-to-play Ito, so I don't have any cons activated on him. I don't have anything. I will show you what a free-to-play Ito looks like with really crappy artifacts. Do you mind if I use Goro or Bennett or anybody like that, or do you want to see just raw Ito damage? Because he needs buffers in a perfect world. Ito. I'm going to use Albedo. And I'm going to switch all the free-to-play weapons, alright? Zhongli has a free-to-play weapon on him, and I'm going to use Goro instead. Goro is not C6, so he's not going to be giving him all that crunch damage. I don't have Eugene leveled up, so she's not going to be giving his normal attacks extra damage. If I could find my Goro, that would be great. If I could put artifacts on my Goro... Oh, he's got them. Okay. Alright, Goro good. Zhongli good. This is going to be pre-Bennett, alright? Goro has a bow on him, right? Like Sack or something. Fav? Okay. Let's just check Ito's artifacts. Alright. This is Ito with level 16 crappy artifacts, okay, with 5105. Alright. His damage is very high. Let me go find... Let's test it out on this Mirror Maiden here. Alright. Because some people don't like using Goro because he's like kind of more of a limited 5-star. Albedo here is literally just Albedo. And all you need to use with Goro is literally his E. So there's two 13Ks, and that's pre-auto attack. There's a 45K elemental skill. This is a Ito with suboptimal artifacts, essentially getting buffed. With Mono Geo, no Bennett, Goro buff ran out. Obviously, he's got a crit. But if I throw him on the set that my Chiori's rocking right now, alright, I'll show you my Chiori stats. Then I'd be like, If I throw him on this set, okay, take off 80% because of weapon. But if I throw him on this set with an actual defense sans, not an attack sans, alright, a defense sans, and I throw him on a crit damage circlet, not crit rate, and I have a nice crit rate substat, keep him on geo damage bonus, alright, he scales harder with defense. See? Scales harder with defense. This doesn't scale with defense at all, but this does, and that's what you use him for. This doesn't scale with anything other than just raw damage, so you want attack for that. It just inherits HP. This is just like, I guess you could say it kind of scales with defense, because this enables bull damage to go up. Yeah. He also gains inherent, like, interruption resistance, and it decreases elemental resistances as well of enemies. This increases attack speed. Oh, yeah. And this just overall boosts his defense. So this just makes everything better. So, yeah. Just build defense. Defense Ito. Defense Ito ED. You'll be good to go if you do that. I mean, you saw a couple 13Ks in there, right? And I have him on absolute hot garbage. Oh, yeah, and weapon, by the way. I don't have him on a 5-star weapon. I have him on White Blind. Yeah, Hoyo build just builds energy recharge. I don't know why they do it, but they just think, ooh, spam burst, people like that. But no. I just have him on White Blind, dude. Like, I've always had him on White Blind. White Blind, good. People rip on White Blind. I don't know why. I don't know why. White Blind's probably his best free-to-play weapon. And it's craftable. And you can get refinements. And you probably have a lot of Claymore billets, because nobody uses Claymore billets. Because nobody in their right mind makes a prototype archaic 90% of the time. Only bitchy thing about Ito is these Oni Kabutos. Getting enough of them is an ever-loving nightmare. Because they're so sparse, and they only literally exist on trees and Inazuma in certain places. So, Hoyo doesn't know what they're doing when they want to showcase characters. Give them 50 CV on their pieces, make people happy, you know, show off them with a little bit of energy, or energy recharge, not an obscene amount, and show them off with like a little bit of elemental mastery, and everything becomes so much better. I don't remember how to get down there. I think I need to go in this hole. Like, if you look at the Hoyo build right now for xilonen, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then the MiHoYo build for Chiori is even worse. Like, it's like they want people not to pull for Chiori, which is so upsetting. Because I think she's literally better than Ito. Because you can just quick swap into her so much. What am I hearing? What am I hearing? Are they over here? What am I hearing? Dude, I literally don't know why it's marking this specific ruin grader. Oh, here. Yeah, 2 more years. Pretty much. I mean, it's going to take ever-loving forever. But this is why I think Chiori is better. Like, you just do that, and everything dies. Ito, you have to get his ult prepped. You have to do 10 hits. You have to do a rotation. Chiori, you don't have to do a rotation. You just slap them. And if you level up her auto attacks, they're even good, too. And because she scales with attack and defense. She just scales harder with defense. I wonder what this team does, if these guys will even last. Go. That wasn't a crit. That was... Was that a 108 or a 10k? I can't tell. What? That's on top? Oh, God. I think you'd be a happier camper if you went with, like... I don't know. I guess Chiori and Ito are, I guess, really the only options for Geo. Is there a way to, like, mark a different enemy? Because, like, I really don't want to, like, go down into this guttural garbage and hunt that specific Ruin Sentinel. I wish there was a different way to do this, because this is miserable. I don't want to do that at all. In the meantime, though, let's see if I can get Uraku up now. Who's got it? Does Kirara have it? Kirara has it. I can only get it 4 levels up. Wow, expensive. I can craft 2. I'll get these tomorrow. These are needed. These are needed. I have more for it. It's available on Monday. Okay. So it's higher? It's higher than this. How... Is there a way to go up? How? You know, I hear something. It's higher than me, though. Which I don't get. Where is it? I'm hearing stuff. Oh, there's an enigmatic page. It's on this level. Should be right here. What? Oh, that's BS. Someone could have told me that's where it was. I can't see anything. Well, it's dead. Alright, there's got to be more of these things somewhere. Are there not? What? That's it? That's all of them? There's no way that's all of them. That can't be right. That literally cannot be right. Find me. What? Ha? What? Huh? I killed like 8 of them. Not even. And I haven't farmed those. There's like, huh? I literally killed like 8 of them. There's like 8 to 10 of them on the map. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because that's ridiculous. I don't know why Hoyo puts it on the interactive map, but they don't put it in their in-game map, for Christ's sakes. Like, people actually use the in-game one, and so I don't know why. Yeah, there's 149 of them. What? I mean, there's some in Sumeru, but I don't want to go in Sumeru. Sumeru isn't fun. There's a whole bunch of them on the surface in Sumi, whatever it's called. Or this isn't Tarsumi. Oh, it's Surumi. Alright. I'll get into a Dory war with this guy, because my Dory is better. I have best Dory. Known to man. Best C6 Dory. Let's just wake all these guys up. It's not facts. You're just lurking. You didn't want to look at my spread math. I also have best Shiori known to man. Slap, slap, slap. I'm not missing an off piece, am I? Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm missing 2 pieces. I'm missing my Glad pieces, because they're on Kirara right now, because I have C6 Kirara right now. My Dory's still better with only 2 pieces of Glad. This is beautiful. This is so wonderful to see. These numbers make me feel so happy. Albeit she has none of this now, but this is a pretty sight. And I gotta get Amakuno fruits, which I'm not excited about. And Spectral Nucleus. Yeah, I'm a turd. And that took me like 6 hours, and I was all doing it in like middle of the night. So I really wasn't keen on it. But yes, I have Cackle. Writing that entire thing was like, I don't know. I was just so... No, I'm not. But I'm really not keen on how the Genshin calculators are all wrong on the internet, for Christ's sakes. Oh, 153k, that's nice. It can go higher, though. If I give Albedo Uraku Misugiri instead of PPA. What the fuck is this? Oh. Maybe there's some sausage to do here. And that which is different shall be illuminated all the same. Oh. What if I just turn them all on? Whee! Well, that's not right. It was these 2, right? That were on. You know what? I don't give a shit. All right, CJ, I'll cheer. I'll see you. And that which is illuminated shall all be but the same. All right, what if it's you? That shall be which illuminated. Okay, well, that's obviously not right. Do I give a shit? No. That's why it's unsolved. Oh, the Amakuno fruits, baby. Plomp. Plomp. Trigger crystallize. This is pre-crystallized, man. Oh, I don't even get to use my ult. That's no fun. I'm pretty sure these guys don't drop anything. Because they're, like, part of puzzles. No, they do. That guy just didn't. Oh, he did. What? Yeah, I don't know why my xilonen does so much damage. I'm very confused. Ooh, there's a hooker there. I will come back for that. Yeah, I really don't know why xilonen does so much damage. Where are you? xilonen doing that much is a little ridiculous, honestly. Like, she was hitting like 13k Knight's Soul Blessing skill stuff earlier, and I was like, what? Very confusing. Very, very confusing. No! No! Out of stamina. Is it done? How is it not done? No, there's more. I'm gonna miss all of these. I'm not using Goro. That's cheating. It's not because Zalota at C2 at all, you know. It's not because, you know, I have a Pyro character in the party. Well, actually, no. Because I'm running her Mono Geo, she doesn't boost the Pyro. So, no. In fact, she doesn't activate the Pyro source sample and only activates the Geo source samples. So, ha. Where is this last bitch? There. Alright, I want to go get that Crystal Fly. Yoink. Alright, there's a Naku weed. Where the hell is this last little bit of jizzle? You know what? Albedo time. Whee! Chiori time. Whee! There? You turd. That's not it? Where is there more? How much more is there? 2. Where are you? Do you see anything? I don't see anything. Think it's above me? I don't think there's anything up there. I'll check. Only Geosource samples are active, you know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure no farmable resources are up here. Dude, where? You're fucking with me. You're 100% fucking with me. You don't know where it is. It does not exist. Next to the small rock. Huh. I wonder what small rock you're talking about. I think your eyes are playing tricks on you. Alright, tell me left or right. Goro is cheating. We're not using Goro. Left or right? Fine. I wonder if Goro's better than Bennett. I don't have him C6, though, so... Bennett's probably still better. Where's this little fucknut? I don't think that's better. If I had him C6, then yes. Probably. This motherfucker's never getting a rerun. Dude, I'm using Goro. What? Where is it? Over here? It's under the sausage. I can't get this. How can I get this? My Albedo's dead now. Oh, why does it keep me in the water? Okay, well, I don't think this map is going to help me get all the Amakuno fruits, because I'm not going to be able to get all the Amakuno fruits, because the water. I'm not doing the world quest. I'm not unlocking the world quest. I'm not doing any character story quests for an Amakuno fruit. That is not happening. World quests are the bane of my existence. I got my 1,000 favor points of garbage this morning for the frickin' limited time event bullshit. I am not doing the additional quests for the 80 primos. It can suck my ass, because
I'm not sitting through Candace and Nahida having hot gay butt sex. How many are left? If it's 2, I'm going to shoot somebody. 8? Are they all underwater? How much money? They're all underwater. You know, there should be more than 60 Yamakuno fruits, eh? What do you think? Who needs them? Kirara needs them. And Kirara is a Kringe 4-star. There's 95 Amakumo. Ugh, I can't English right now. 95 pieces on the map. And they're all on Sarai Island as far as I'm aware. There's some over here, but I'm going to have the best time going around the outskirts. Yeah, I'm a lazy motherfucker. Alright? You need the 80 primos. I don't. Yeah, it's cooked. So what? At least I did Vanarana. I did all of Vanarana, bitch. I did all of it. Thinking there was something important at the end. Thinking I would get rewarded. No, I just got shafted. I got shafted by the fucking game team, the design team. They just took me and fucked me. Yeah, you want to talk about hell. Yeah, I don't know if it's better without xilonen or instead of... I don't know. I think Bennett probably better, but Goro have more uptime. Do I need 4 geosamples? No. Or 3 geosamples. And boost Goro... Hey, now we're thinking. It boosts old account and main account. Wow, you are a masochist. I have... Goro C4. I could DPS my Goro. This is true mono geo. Think about it. Goro scales, man. AoE geo damage that doesn't scale with anything. It's just geo damage bonus and skill damage. But this scales with defense. Right? Could turn him into a burst nuke with xilonen. If you get rid of all of his ER, keep him on 4-piece noblesse, which why is he not? Where is his goblet? Did he ever have a geo damage? Here. Yes. Really? Is that the best? Like 20k, really? Scaling. That's sad. Even at like C6, boosting the his crit damage, like you just make it absolutely be a crit stick. You know, you throw like instead of like Fab, you throw on like First Great Magic. That way you gain a 48% attack boost. Really? No, I have wondered, but I really, you can't make his burst that strong. I'm gonna deal with that later. I'm adding that to my notes for something to look into, because I think you can scale his burst with defense, but I also don't think there's a single defense scaling bow in the game, which is kind of sad. But here we are. Unless there is a defense scaling bow. You tell me, is there a defense scaling bow? I'm not looking it up. No? Yeah, I figured. If there was, I don't know who on God's green earth would use it. Because it's a defense scaling bow. I mean, Goro. I can think Goro. He's the only Geo bow user that I'm aware of. A 3-star bow has a defense stat? Really? What 3-star bow? You are a liar. I've seen people run it with compound. I think that's the only thing I've seen. How many stacks can you get? Not enough to be important. Yeah, it's just HP scaling. HP scaling bow also isn't the greatest. Might be useful on the Diona. It's the only use case I can think of. And I don't even know if she scales on HP. Does she scale on some stupid like attack? Where is this motherfucker? This little midget. Why do I have her level 60? Oh, she scales off HP. Yeah, okay, easy. Yep, she could use that 3-star bow. He has burst ER requirements. Yeah, well, not in Mono Geo Team, he doesn't. Mono Geo Team, he doesn't have to be the battery. Unless his burst is like 80 cost. I thought it's like 60, though. 80 cost? Wow. Look, all you need for Crunch is C6, then slap 3 Geo characters in the party, then slap, or maybe the 3 Geo Crunch bonus isn't as good as just Farina Bennett, maybe Kujo Sara if you're triggering Electro Crystallize, if that's even a thing. Blop. God. I wish Spectral Husks had a better drop rate. Give me that Onikabuto. Tiana May. Dude, you are a masochist. Calm down. Oh, Diona. Do you like pain? You like pain and suffering? What'd you use her for? A burst nuke or a physical DPS? Or a charged attacker? What did you do? All of those sound painful. How'd you clear content with DPS Diona? If you're not using buffers, that sounds miserable. You'd need another cryo character for the crit damage, or the crit rate boost if you're gonna try and stack crit damage on her. You might as well just maybe avoid using HP for the most part, unless her damage also scales with HP. She was great with Mill. Yeah. Her damage doesn't scale with HP at all, so you probably just had to build her as a crit attack fucking stat stick with an obscene amount of crit damage and only crit rate buffing from cryo party members. You probably had to use like a fucking crit rated Rosaria. C6 Bennett never. C6 my Bennett never, because he'll absolutely trash my Eula, unfortunately. Until they fix the constellation system. When I say fix, I mean auto-charged attack without waiting. Diona? Why is that her C4, and how is that ever useful other than in a DPS scenario? That makes no sense. I mean, it's cool, but... The next bullshit idea you're going to give me is DPS Diona, and you're going to make me try and run it through Bennett Zhongli melt bullshit. But, yeah, they should let us remove cons, because
I would be able to. I would love to be able to show some of my characters without constellations, especially my 4-stars. I'd love to be able to go back and make, guides and essentially damage showcases for 4-stars without constellations, or at least different constellation levels to show how the damage scales. I think not only would it be amazing for content creators, but I think it would be really useful for people who have accidentally fucked their characters, like Child in certain scenarios, because he procs way too much hydro, which can affect vaporized damage per second, and people like who have C6 their Bennett without realizing that, oops, I C6'd my Bennett, and now I can't use certain teams. And here's the thing, you don't C6 your Bennett, you also miss out on some possible teams as well, which is sad, because you can't do certain, like, pyro-infused teams, There are some teams that run around C6 Bennett. Obviously they're niche, but people have tried to make them exist because so many people have C6 their Bennett, whether they want to or not. Sometimes it's just on accident. Oh god. Yeah, I know. His attack buff is still okay. And then it gives a pyro damage buff, I think, on sword users or something like that, whenever they're imbued with pyro. Yeah, I know. I enjoy using Kaching way too much. I know. I this is atrocious, but my artifacts are even scarier. Yeah. She's C5 and I still run her physical DPS because I'm an asshole. Yeah, sorry. I still run her physical DPS. Yeah. I thought it would be fun. I pick Kaching. I want my Kaching cons. Because one day I'd love to just post on the Kaching mains subreddit that I have C6 Kaching, but I opt, instead of using an aggravate Kaching, to use physical Kaching DPS. I think it'd be hilarious. But essentially what also happened is I didn't farm specifically for a good bloodstained set. I just happened to get a ton of really good bloodstained pieces while farming for Noblesse. So, because back in the day, there was no strongbox. I know. My account is cursed. It's very cursed. Yeah, the way I have characters built, kirara for a Night Soul Blessing state kirara right now is just atrocious. C6 Electro-infused Dory on-field DPS with Wolf's Gravestone is atrocious. People looking at my builds would get so goddamn confused. They're like, what is this guy doing, and why the hell is he using, like why the hell does Albedo exist in this team? Like, how on earth does this make sense? But it makes so much sense. And why on earth would I use Peak Patrol Song on Kuki Shinobu with 5-piece Deepwood? That's all defense percent. At C5, I wouldn't be able to hold back from C6ing her, but of course you would get it. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I'm pretty sure C6 doesn't screw with anything. She just gets an electro damage bonus. It doesn't imbue any of her things normally, I believe. She just gains an electro damage bonus. So if she's normal attacking, and I push out her E, and then I auto attack without initiating her E through clicking the skill again, it just does a plop of electro damage when it explodes. And yes, I know you're C6ing your Dory because my Dory's better at C6 than yours. I get it. It's okay. And Chlorine Banner to try and C6 Nuvi. Yeah, I would C6 Nuvi. If I was gonna C6 any 5-star, it would be Nuvi, because if there was ever a piece of content that was hard and that I struggled with and that I couldn't clear, you just take C6 Nuvi to it and then it's over with. Pretty much. Unless it's like a Hydro Abyss Mage, but I'm so glad they took those out of the abyss for the most part. Because that was miserable when those were a thing. Hydro Abyss mages with those giant chunky shields on frickin'... Yeah, until Hydro Slimes. Nuvalet's weak. Can't do nothing. Yeah, I just... Ugh. When they had Hydro Abyss mages on floor 12, I was just like... It was just shield hell. You know, you could kill the actual thing in like 2 seconds if it didn't have just such a chunky shield. It was just literally like, let me throw down as many reactions as humanly possible. I'm sure I must have over 60 Yamakuno fruits by now, right? It's gotta be the case. I don't want to ever have to get these again. Let's see. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to do a good job here. I don't know if I am, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, Kirara is cursed. This is Kirara. I can't equip during combat, but with Uraku, her crit damage stat looks a lot prettier. With a level 90 Uraku. But cursed Kirara with cursed artifacts, with cursed talents, and ugh. Oh, God. Maybe your Kirara is. I just happened to get 3 Kirara cons out of my ass in the past week while I was building Kirara. It's almost like Genshin's telling me to main Kirara. So that's why I ripped off these Dory facts. And yeah, I could use Dory and Kirara in the same team. That's the other thing that I haven't been thinking about. Like, I could just run Deepwood Kirara instead of Deepwood Nahida and just stack EM on her for Dory Aggravate. But I don't think her application is nearly as good as Nahida's, so it wouldn't be really beneficial. Even though Aggravate damage itself, I don't know. It's finicky. I don't even want to think about that right now. I have too many things to think about when it comes to defense scaling Deepwood Kuki Shinobu. Alright. Well, yeah, her C6 buff would be beneficial for Dory. I just don't know if it's better than, you know, Nahida's A1 talent, which buffs overall EM by 250. Yeah, you won't get interrupt. Yeah, that's true. I do get a lot of interruption in the Dory team. Yeah, that is the thing. That is the annoying thing. It's just her damage potential. I don't know how Dory's damage potential will look without the constant Aggravate proc. Well, no, here's the thing, though. They quickened... Yeah, it matters a lot for Aggravate, actually. And it's not spread, it's Aggravate with Dory, okay? Quicken plus Electro is Aggravate, and Aggravate has worse scaling than Spread, because Dendro characters tend to be weaker. Dory Hyperbloom is fun, but Dory Aggravate, that's even more fun. I figured out that Bennett and xilonen are better damage scaling for Electro C6 normal attack infusion Dory than Farina for overall Hyperbloom DPS for the most part, which is stupid that that's how it ends up working out. But 4-piece Glad Dory C6, I need to get this crowned like ASAP. This leveled up. I need to like level up all this shit. Ooh, I can do this right now. Yoink. What are these available? Tuesday? Meh. How many of these are craftable? 2. Meh. I might do that later today. Chevreuse with Dory, and it's atrocious. Like, atrocious bad? Oh, yeah, because overloaded. Everybody's getting knocked. Skyward Atlas went into the domain without checking the enemies. My C3 Nuvi was just beaten by Hydro Slimes. Are you using Sky... So, oh, yeah, you're leveling Skyward. You want to know who Skyward Atlas is actually stupid broken on? I don't have my, I don't have her built yet. But this is something that I'm going to be working on in the future. It's Charlotte, because her goddamn attack scaling is off the roof with all of her bonuses here. Like, her attack scaling is ridiculous. for healing and damage. Ningguang, also great piece for Ningguang. Also amazing. Attack scaling, stupid. Like, when you run her with no Fontanians, cryo damage, stupid. This is going to be the artifact set I run on her, for the most part. Probably going to be ripping Dory's attack sands and throwing it on her, maybe. If I need crit rate. And I maybe am going to be ripping just the sands. I need an off-piece circlet, probably with crit rate, and it's most likely going to end up being this one. Yeah, but that's what I was thinking, until I was like, well, I put a crit rate circlet on her, I don't need it. And she doesn't really do much with crit. Her auto attacks in this setup, if I throw one of my 20% crit rate, 60% circlets on her as an off piece, I get up to 50% crit rate. I run another cryo character in the party who's not from Fontaine, and then I get an extra, 15% boost, so I'm up to 65. And then from there, I'm like, I don't need to touch it. 65 crit rate is fine for like 180 crit damage for the most part. It's not perfect CV. Yeah, well, okay, well, she auto attacks a lot, so I don't think having the highest crit rate is important. But yes, overall damage over time is better. Screw you. Prototype Amber, because she's hungry as Xiangling. Yeah. Yeah. They are thirsty as hell, sadly. Which stinks, but it is what it is. You can't control it. Okay, I gotta check how many Amakumo fruits I have. Yeah, well, you can DPS Charlotte like 100%. Like, it's totally feasible. Whereas, like, Candace DPS sucks. And, like, when I looked into it with her C6, and also, Anemo Woman, Lynette sucks as a DPS. As far as damage scaling was concerned, when I was looking at it online, and trying to run some of the numbers, DPS Auroron. Getting Kirara up this ascension is going to be so vital for her damage. It's going to be insane. I can't wait to do this. This is probably going to be a tomorrow thing. It's just I don't have the talent books to get her up to 90. But the way that level scaling is calculated with spread reaction damage, the spread multiplier scales harder with character level than it does with EM, so it's actually ridiculously important to boost her damage by getting up her level. Yeah, Auroron is going to be taking exclusively mats from the new regions that are going to be released. Or so I've heard. That is not confirmed, because I can't confirm anything, because maybe Hoyo's going to partner me, maybe. We'll see. But all of his stuff comes from that. Other than totally not his boss, which is totally not the Firebird in Notlin, by the way. Totally not. Totally not the Notlin Firebird. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. If you're curious, it's totally not this thing that drops these things. That's definitely not his boss. So, Hoyo, if you're watching this, you know, because you're trying to partner me, that is not his boss, and I don't know that. This is miserable. It's going to make me kill this thing, isn't it? Wait, this boosts normal attack damage when characters deal geo damage. Wait, but she gets geo imbued. Yeah, but her crit rate's good. Alright, let's just slap this motherfucker. Yeah, it looks like Shiori's going to be the one dealing the most damage. Alright, let's just sit here for a minute and press left click. Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly Nuvi is after Chaska. Wink, wink. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Because they're going to want to juice up the banner as much as they can. Because people are not going to want to pull for Chaska. Because they're going to want to wait for Malvika. So they're going to try and juice as much money as possible out of people. Yeah, and Chaska's new mats are available in their new region totally. And totally not. And also, her Trounce boss totally is not Arlecchino, and it's totally not these Silken Feathers. Wink, wink. Tooty 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 doo. Tooty 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 doo. Alright. And I'm trying to think what else he needs. I don't think there's anything. Oh, yeah. The one other thing that you're gonna need a bunch of for him and for his maybe they're for his talents are these. Make sure you get a lot of these. You can get these from farming ley lines. I don't think he takes these though. I don't think he takes the whistles. I don't think you need the whistles. But your best bet at getting these is going to be killing just Saurians throughout Notland. They're pretty important. And you can get them with Stardust, if you have Stardust, but it's probably just more economical for you to move it. Yes, Chaska needs Tyrant Fangs too. Everybody needs Tyrant Fangs. Unfortunately. I think Chaska needs whistles. Maybe. I don't remember. I'm taking Goro out. Oh, come on, you bitch. Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, Chaska don't come out till November 18th. Or I guess even talking about Chaska is a leak, so whatever. I guess I'm fucked either way. But the cool thing is Nuvi's coming after. So Nuvi's going to take 3 weeks after Chaska. So you're looking into December for Nuvi. Like, beginning of December, so you have a bit. I wish there was, like, recurring rewards for exploration, like daily exploration rewards. That would be cool. Actually give people a purpose to continually look around the map for things. I honestly don't know if I'm going to go for Nuvi. I feel like a lot of people are probably going to be pissy with me if I don't, because he's kind of a must pull like 90% of the time, but I'm also like very much don't really care for him at all. Which I know sounds weird, but I gotta heal my albedo. This is bad. Yeah. I'm with you there, Jason. I get it. The sucky thing for me is that it's not like I can even really save for characters, because everything has to typically end up going towards resin to be able to push out consistent content, to be able to actually grind for characters and try and get characters pushed out. in a reasonable build time, it would take way too long to try 90 and 80 characters. So typically what I do is just get them up to A4. And that's typically where I stick around. Unfortunately, that's how it kind of has to be. So level 71 is kind of where I stop for a lot of 4 stars. Yeah, it's expensive. So that's why I'm hoping Hoyo will partner me, and maybe I can get some sort of monthly kickback or something like that when it comes to making stuff. How are you supposed to get that? Do you have to kill those birds? I'm just going to mark this. To be able to push out consistent content, it's just an absolute pain because you end up kind of getting the short stick of things when it comes to how much you can feasibly do free to play, which sucks. I feel really bad for the smaller content creators who are free to play and aren't in the position that I'm in to be able to do certain things, because it's hard for growth when you can't make consistent content. Hey, birthday luck. Can't go wrong with that. If you have 212 wishes, you win 2 50/50s. If you can garner 200 more pulls, you should probably be fine to get C3 Nuvi. You might even have a little bit left over to go for refinements, maybe. But good luck if I don't hear from you by then. Hopefully, you'll be around in the comments or be around in the streams. So I'll be able to hear from you, and you'll be able to let me know how it goes. Oh my god, I just can't get any type of rotation in here. Hit, 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 hit. I hate farming Spectral Husks because the drop rate is so low. And these things are so horrible to kill. Yeah, the Discord is... Dory's got the Discord link. I gotta get Dory as a mod so we can just start spamming links in the chat because I have to set up bots. Or here, I think I got it, unless Dory... Yeah, Dory's got it. Thank you. Is it in the details of the stream? Oh, it is. Cool. I did do that. I did forget that I did that. I think I had sometimes. Wish that was more circular. 3 gray spectral is annoying. If only there were bigger versions of these that actually dropped more mats and better quality mats, that would be nice. Because 9 grays for 1 blue means I have to kill 3 of these for 1 freaking blue thing. And I need like 27 of them to get kirara up to 90. Not even accounting for talents. Yeah, the dead server that I'm only putting people who care in. Or the only people that care are getting... Or joining, I guess, for the most part. Here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Let's make sure that everything's operating. I tried to put some weird but fun little mechanics in the server. Trying to use some automation tools, which is, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't seen what it's like for the users yet. Dory, did it open up and work fine and allow you to go through kind of the rules and not hinder you too much, or was it a little bit abusive? Yeah, I know, right? Dude, it's like something stupid like 6 million Mora to like 8 a character. 888 a character at 80. And for me, that is literally way too many Mora ley lines to be able to physically do comfortably. Which is so sad. It is so sad. Oh, perfect. All right. Yeah, I mean, I know the rules aren't bad. I just don't know if it's, like, gonna turn people away. Like, they join, they see that, they're like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I was asking if the rules when you join the server were fine. Jason said they were, so I'm sure it's okay. Cool thing about doing the live streams is it's been getting more and more consistent in terms of viewership, average like rate, and all that kind of jazz. No, I know. Like, weapon mats, I actually think are easier to get, which is weird. Or weapon, like, ascension mats, I should say, are easier to get than character ascension mats. A little bit more resin efficient. But freaking weapon enhancement ore, I am literally starving for that. Like, I literally cannot, for the life of me, get enough to the point where it's, like, exhaustive. Like, these are bloody expensive, and they only give you 25. The only reason why I got this last week is because I needed a fragile in a pinch. This is expensive and useless. These are cheap and great. These are cheap and really great and actually save you a stupid amount of resin. If 3 of these is, you know, you think about it, if 6 of them is 20 resin, right? And you get 20 of them, you know, it's essentially right around 60 resin you're saving, a little bit more. And that's per. This is a little bit more resin save. But 60 resin for 75 for 150 Genesis crystals is a lot better than however this ends up working out to. This is really only useful for the hero's wit, but that's, I mean, that hero wit is ridiculous. That is like 200 resin worth of hero's wit. Really? It works. It's better? No, my account was top heavy too. When Theatrum, when I started looking into it and I got back into Genshin and I was looking at Theatrum, I was like, whoa, I don't have the 4 stars that they're requiring for these cycles in order for me to be able to do the deeper stages. I could do hard mode, but I couldn't do you know, I couldn't stop. I couldn't do the like the super mode or whatever it is. I don't remember what it's called. The harder one. This cycle I could do it because I squeaked by 1 character. Because I just didn't have enough characters. And it's kind of weird. Yeah, I buy the Battle Pass purely for the resin. I will 100% not judge you for that either. Because, I mean, it ends up, it's like an extra 2 days. It's like 2 to 4 days of resin that you essentially gain per 2 weeks or whatever when it's out. 3 weeks? 3 weeks? It's a 3-week cycle, typically. I don't remember. This is below me. Here it is. Yeah, I know. Their day is atrocious. Ironically, it has inspired me to want to build Daya because I have Kniech. I love my Kniech. My Kniech is C3. And I hate using Zhongli. There's just... I will stand by it until the day that I die. I think Zhongli is boring, uninteresting, and not a cool character design. She was nice when she came out in 2020, for Christ's sakes, or 2019 when they freaking introduced her. But I literally am so sick of using her for being the only somewhat adequate off-field pyro applicator, especially in teams where, like, I don't want to use Toma. You know, like, it's just, it's just nightmarish. And at the end of the day, you know, I hope Malvika ends up being an off-field pyro applicator, like Farina being an off-field hydro applicator. I really don't want her to be just another pyro DPS. I would be very sad. Because if I get Dea, she would be a great off-field pyro applicator. And she would replace my Zhongling in every scenario ever. And she scales with HP. She's really easy to build. That's the only, Stop! That's the only, 5-star standard banner character I'm missing. Yeah, I would say Zhongling, Dea is a great Zhongling replacement. Just because of her HP scaling, and you just plop down her E, and it's good to go, for the most part. Yeah, it doesn't do as much damage, but for Christ's sakes, are you really even using Zhongling for damage? Like, if you're doing reverse vape, which is what I'm doing 90% of the time, especially if you're doing reverse vape with Nuvi, it's not really scaled off of pyro damage as much as it is scaled off of hydro. Yeah, I'm going to end up DPSing Malvika, but, you know, I said that when Farina was going to come out, but now my Farina is just so stupidly good as a non-DPS, and then I didn't want to C6 Farina, though I really considered it. I was like, do I want to put a $2,000 hole in my wallet? No. For one character, no, I don't love her that much. I highly doubt they'll ever make a character that I love probably as much as Kirara. Or Dory, for that matter, that I will ever consider C6ing. Especially for a 5-star. I mean, I'll C6 4-stars all day, but 5 stars, hell no. I don't think Genshin will ever make a character that I'll love so much that I'll want to spend an obscene amount of money on him, like over $1,000. I don't think I'll ever want to spend $1,000. I spent $800 on Kniech, and I was like, holy fuck. And I was like, this is a problem. Let me stop. Yeah, I heard that too. I don't know if that's true, but I did hear that. I 100% did hear that. And I was really interested to hear that. If she is, that's amazing. Because if they feature her and then she comes out on standard banner, I would be so happy. Yeah, Sitlali is going to probably... Sitlali and Chaska and Malvika. I'm going to get absolutely railed, but I'm probably not going to do... I'm not going to do Nuvi. And I'm not going to do another Zhongli. And I'm not going to do Hu Tao or Nahida. I'm literally just going to do the new ones for the most part. Because they're the only ones that I'm really interested in. I know how Nuvi plays. He just does a lot of damage. I don't need damage. I'm fine. I'm totally fine on damage. Although Nuvi's really cool and awesome, I don't need him, you know? Yeah, I don't want to wait again for the 5-star selector, sadly, for another year. I'd love to do it. I mean, that might end up being how I get C6 Kaching. I'm just absolutely... I have, like, C9 Diluc at this point. I am so sick of getting Diluc cons. He's my only C6 5-star, and I want to barf. No. You stop Farina after C1. You can get C2, but you 100% stop Farina after C1. This just gives her a great boost. This is great, but, like, stop after C1, pretty much, for the most part, or C2. If you're really nuts, go C3 to boost her ult, but just fucking crown her ult. It's plenty. All of this stuff is not really useful. Unless, like, her C6 is literally just if you want to take her as a goddamn DPS and on-field her and use auto attacks. Like, I really don't find it useful at all. But next thing will eventually be Tenacity Farina with Peak Patrol Song. And I won't shut up about it because I'm sure it will be very good. Are there any more of these little spectral bitches that I haven't killed? Yes. I think there's 8 over here. No, I did kill those. Did I nab all of them? No. I don't think I did. What about the ones in the bottom of Sangodomia? Yeah, C6 Nuve would be very fun to make some co-op clips with for TikTok. Or not for TikTok, but for YouTube Shorts. I don't know why I say TikTok. It's the same goddamn thing. Somehow Dory found my UID, which I try and not make public, but I think he found it when I went to go to the goddamn character thing, which is fine. No shit. C3 Nuvi 6NA. That's awesome. Congrats, man. Somehow my Kenichi is my best built character, but the way Akasha works is so dumb because it runs him in the team I don't run him in, and his DPS is just absolutely nuked because of it, which is unfortunate. So I haven't found really a good ranking system that I like. I want to get my Dory on a ranking chart. I just want to see. I've tried looking, but there's been no system that calculates Dory as far as I'm aware. Yeah, well, it's the only way to get to the goddamn party thing. To change parties, okay? It's the only way to do it, as far as I'm aware. Unless there's a button for it. Let me play around on my keyboard. No, it's not O. Oops. Is it P? P for party? L? It's L. I don't have to do it. I can just hit L. What? Okay, those keybinds are dumb. Thanks, Genshin, for dumb keybinds. I said I was going to fix Raiden today and get Uraku all the way up to 80, but that's not happening because Uraku is expensive. Oh yeah, Dory, sorry. I did it. I'm sorry. It just had to happen. It's too good. It's too good, and Chiori is like my favorite character. Chiori, Kirara, and Dory, and that's it. You know. I can't argue with it. Chiori's too underrated. People hate on her for no reason. She's peak. She's peak. I would get Albedo Con. Like, Albedo Cons are cracked, but I would get them if they were more cracked, and it actually enabled Albedo to be more than just a C6 character. Like, C4 is stupid. It's just for plunging teams, and this is okay because it allows this burst to scale with defense, but it's only 30% defense scaling, so it's like kind of funky. All right, so since I have like 60 resin left, I think what I want to do is run tenacity domain because I need more tenacity pieces like always, and then I want to get just some fodder pieces from tenacity to plug into my cookies Deepwood set now because I'm running her in this team. No, not that team. That team's gross. This team. Because this is my non new kirara team. Well, actually, no. Bennett's stupid. Why don't I just use Farina? I'll make everybody happier. This will be my Hyper Bloom Kirara team. Yeah, but I was going for spread. Hyper Bloom damage boosted by EM, but it's only her EM. But this is for spread, so that doesn't make sense. So Nahida. Even though Bennett does more damage, Nahida means more jazz. More EM. More scaling. More damage. More good. Yeah, I know. I just like her too much. That's the problem. That's really the big problem. I just like her too much. I was looking at Uraku cons for, or not cons, refinements for Chiori and doing the damage calculations, and it literally only increases her overall damage by like 5k. It's actually horrible how it's actually stupid how horrible Uraku constellations are. Like, it makes no sense why they're that bad. Unless the calculator's off, but I don't think it's off for weapons. I think it's literally just off for reactions. Because it literally just boosts your skill and defense. Yeah, she scales hard with defense. Yeah, it takes it up an extra 20%. But 20% is literally feasible with artifacts. Like, an extra 20% defense is literally doable just through artifact optimization. So it's like, if you're fucking lazy and a whale, then get it. Yeah, it boosts your elemental skill damage by an extra 24%, but you can just put in goddamn xilonen or something stupid. Like, it's not really needed. I don't know. Well, you said you don't have Nahida, right? I'm not pulling for Nahida cons, albeit C2 enables crit on bloom stuff, or crit on general reactions, not quick on aggravate and spread. Because her C1 just increases the frickin' amount of counts that you get on her burst, which is okay. It's not her greatest scaling. This is what's probably her best con. If you have C2 Nahida, it decreases defense on all enemies by 30% when they're quickened or aggravated. This is the highlight of this con over the fixed crit rate and crit damage, because like you're only going to be critting on your bloom reactions 20% of the time. So it's like, don't ever go for C1. Yeah, the C2 is where it's at. Like, if you're going to do it, you have to do it. Yeah, the only thing that's going to benefit you with Dori is if you're doing Hyper Bloom, you're going to get the occasional crit on the Hyper Bloom, but it's really only going to benefit her aggravate team. And that's just by decreasing defense by 30%, which is nice scaling. It's just is it really worth it when you can just scale her harder with Elemental Mastery and be fine? Yeah, most Archon C2 is stopping point. You don't want to... Yeah. C6 zhongli ruins a lot of things sometimes. You never... I wouldn't even C2 Venti, though. Like, Venti cons just like... Blech. I remember when Venti used to be the most broken character in the game. But, like, Venti C1 is stupid. This is just bad. Like, yes, it works well with his ult, but it's only a Nemo in physical resistance shred. Like, if you're using Chaska, maybe it could be good when they're locked into his ult, but a Nemo resonance is absolutely ass cheeks. Like, running two Anemos in your party 90% of the time sucks.
because its resonance is bad and Anemo buffers aren't that great. Xiao 90% of the time is well, you don't typically want to run Bennett with Xiao, right? Because his damage scales off of health loss. Probably Farina. Yeah, Farazan C6 is probably better and cheaper, a lot cheaper. That could be okay. And yeah, it's a buff for Zhao, assuming he can keep his HP low. I mean, I see Farina being a good option as a great buffer for Zhao. Then it's up to you what you want to do in terms of elemental damage, shred, and stuff like that. You know, xilonen won't buff Anemo anything, but she will generate source samples from Farina, boosting Farina's HP, allowing for more overall Farina fanfare stat gain. And you throw a Pyro character in the party, you gain an additional, like... you gain an additional attack bonus by 45%. I'm talking at C2, xilonen, by the way, which is kind of niche, but... you know, and then you end up throwing... Since you have an Anemo in there as Xiao, your overall damage is going to be up by 50%. So... Oh, actually, no. Wait, yes, all of those will be active. Yeah, C2 xilonen is probably one of the most broken cons in the game. I would venture to say. Yeah, xilonen is busted, and the people who don't get her and get her C2 now, I think, are going to regret it, unfortunately. Yeah, she doesn't work with Anemo and Dendro, but I don't think Kazuha does either. Kazuha works with Anemo, but I don't think he works with Dendro. So it's like, meh. And she's not EM scaling, she's defense scaling. And she has a flat elemental res decrease that scales with... yeah, Dendro doesn't need the help anyways. And freaking... Her elemental res shred is scaled with her elemental skill, so you can crown that and get 36% elemental res shred at C0. You can run her with Cinder City, which then increases party members' team-wide elemental damage bonus by whatever crystallized reaction she triggers during her Night Soul Blessing state by 28%. Yeah. Yeah, and she works amazing with Farina, or any character that damages you, because she has an amazing healing on her ultimate. I kept... This is going to sound funky, but I actually kept her ultimate... I say ultimate instead of elemental burst. I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from. Probably like League of Legends or something stupid. But I keep it lower because I want more healing procs than healing them up to full. If that makes sense. I care more about... What do I not need here? Probably just some random Wanderer's piece. Like this. No, but that's got EM. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Ugh, I'm starving for tenacity, dude. I'm hungry. This isn't even worth it. Why would I sacrifice a good piece? I do, but all my resin has to go into building characters instead of goddamn artifacts. 90% of the time, leveling a weapon and getting the right weapon up to 80 is going to be way more effective for a character's stats than trying to get halfway decent artifacts. As long as you get a main stat artifact on set, it's typically fine. I'm done with... Look, all you need is gladiators. You don't need anything else other than gladiators.
No, I actually got the perfect. I literally got perfect, perfect Kuki pieces today. So, perfect defense Dendro Kuki Peak Patrol Song pieces. EM crit damage. Defense percent main stat onset. ER attack. Defense percent main stat crit damage attack. HP. Kuki skills with HP. Crit damage attack. Feather. EM defense percent flower. Like, come on. That's like fucking perfect, Dory. Come on. For Peak Patrol Song Kuki to get her out to like 2,500 defense? Come on. Yeah, I think my best Geo Cup is mediocre at best. Yeah. It's okay. I just have a better ratio of crit damage on this one. That's why I use it on Chiori. I don't really care for. I need more crit rate than crit damage. Like this is a very solid piece, but it's very situational where I need a Geo character with elemental mastery. This was like Ningguang Cup at one point, so this is more of a useful all-around piece. When I roll this again, I just hope it goes into crit rate or something and not goddamn flat HP or ER. But it's like the perfect Goro piece because Goro doesn't need any other sub-statistic unless it was like defense, noblesse, main stat or something. But sometimes it makes it tricky. But like, in my eyes, it's really hard because I look at a piece and I'm like, there is no such thing as a bad piece. Like when I get an artifact out of a domain, I'm like, oh, this could be really good in X situation. But at the same time, then I also look back at my artifacts later. I'm like, oh, I don't need this. Not because of the main stat. Typically just because of the substats. Oh. Saucy. Let's get it up to 16. It deserves it. If I can. I can't. Are there any pieces that I'm willing to sacrifice? Hell no. Well, I can get rid of this. I don't need this anymore. I was just worried I wasn't getting a good feather. 14-12 crit rate, 17-9 crit damage on Glad. Ooh. Yeah, the event gives some artifact XP. I did all the event this morning first thing when I got on stream. Yeah. It's great though. Happy about it. You know, that defense cup. It's got 15 attack EM. Kuki aggravate. Aggravate don't scale with attack at all. But I wonder if it's going to be a better gob than this. Yes. So I will switch to that. What's she up to now? 1,500? This is great, but this doesn't boost aggravate. Elemental skill damage don't boost aggravate. This is in my non-Albedo team, right? Yeah, because I don't need Albedo here. I just need a tenacity user. Which would be... It's really cursed, but I'm going to do it. This is so cursed. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Oh, once I put PPA on her, or PPS on her, it's going to be beautiful. Watch this. This is about to be the most heinous thing you've ever seen. What if I told you Kujo-Sara statistics don't matter at all? That's got to be on Kuki.
So let's throw just... Wait, I need a circlet. That would come off of Albedo, or that would come off of zhongli. That will come off of zhongli. So, I'm going to be patient, okay? She doesn't need any of this. Yeah, she needs attack. I don't give a shit. Her damage doesn't matter. She's just an attack buffer. So, when I do this... This. This. Should be good. And mind you, my Kuki does not have the defense that she should have, but she's at least a 2k. She can get up to 2.5k. Easy. Level her up to 80, goes up even higher. Probably 2,700 a cap. But now we got Deepwood. Oh, but Nahida's Deepwood. So I needed a tenacity user. Meaning I don't need Sara on tenacity. Meaning I could theoretically put skill increase her defense 2 with the weapon. Yes. Yes, it does. Who would be the good one? Probably going to be Tenacity Bennett. Or Noblesse Bennett. Doesn't Noblesse just boost burst, then boost damage? Yeah, I don't even need Tenacity Kujo Sara, because that just boosts crit damage. I'm not trying to get nuclear here. I don't need to. I'm just trying to use overall damage buff. So probably Benbow would be okay. You know, this is probably fine. And let me just make sure I got Kirara on Uraku Misugiri, not the poorly leveled one. Albeit it doesn't really matter. Base attack is important. Okay. But I don't need Deepwood. So I can put Kuki back on Tenacity. Okay, for the sake of this, let's not use Nahida, because I don't need that much Dendro. Just give Fischl Stringless and an EM set of Tenacity, and you're fucking golden. Or, honestly, Deepwood, if you're running a Dendro team. Yeah, I can throw in Kujo Sara or Albedo here. Xilonen's Geosource sample is always going to be active at C2. She would be best with Peak Patrol Song, and she's only going to do Cinnabar. So if I have Bennett, then I probably want to take... Albedo's not that much of a buffer until he hits C4. I don't want to use Farina. I guess it really is Tenacity Kujo Sara. As stupid as that is. Noblesse, Tenacity, Deepwood, Kirara. This is the attacking buff team for spread. Could never ever do that. Artifacts are optimized. I actually don't know how to save the artifact sets now, so nobody showed me how, and I don't really care to look it up, so we're not going to be looking it up. If you want to tell me, that's fine, but, yeah. I can't be bothered. This Abyss sucks for testing Kirara. I figured that out already. So we're just going to do floor 10 because it has, like, swarm of enemies on it. Now, I know they're level 80, but the average player is at, like, world level 8, for Christ's sakes, and they encounter level 80 enemies in the wild, so chill. And then we're doing Kujo Sara and Kuki Shinobu. Now,
Their damage is not anywhere near where it could be because they're both level 70. Her base attack is low. Her base defense is low. But tenacity on her is perfect, and I want more uptime on Kuki's skill for... Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Alright, now we'll just do, like, I don't know. Let's do fun Chiori team with, like, really shitty artifacts and people. Let me put Flute on Albedo. Or no, he's got the other Peak Patrol song. So switch. No, I don't need Flute on Albedo. I can use this, because that boosts skill and burst damage. So Albedo, Wolf's Fang, and then we need to make sure xilonen has Peak Patrol song, which she does. And then I need to make sure Zhongli's got what he needs, kind of. Albedo's fine, and then Chiori has a level 44 Uraku Misukiri. Okay, we're good to go. This is going to be egregious to watch and look at, but I really don't want to take any damage buffs on already floor 10, so... Ah, 113k! Oh, that's so dumb. Alright, let's go into our Night Soul Blessing state now. Oh, and I didn't even auto-attack with Kuki Shinobu to buff Peak Patrol songs, so now we gotta get some auto-attacks in here. Alright, and now let's go into her Night Soul Blessing state and see what this does. Hit things, crit. Well, there's 25k crit. 73 without Peak Patrol song boost. I mean, I like that. Alright, let's get out of floor 10, because that's just stupid. I gotta go to a higher floor. It's way too much damage. Those numbers aren't realistic. They can't possibly be. First half. Sure. I'll go Mono Geo. Bonk, 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 bonk. You. Sure. No, Kirara, well, kind of. It is kind of better. I did a little bit of work with it. Like, a smidge. But it's not, like, too much better. I think it's cool, and I think it's fun, and I haven't done it personally, but, I mean, I've seen people do it, and I've seen it work, for, like, aggravate triggers. Oh, God, they weren't quickened, so I didn't get the... Shoot. This rotation is very, like, fudgy. It looks like Kujo-Sara finally has enough EM, which is nice to see. You can't run Noblesse on Kujo-Sara if you have low ER. There's the 9k. And these guys are Dendro resistant, so that's okay. Looks like they are quickened, and I am getting spreads. Really? You'd only want to run EM on Hyper Bloom? Even though aggravate scaling is better because you would proc it more? Assuming you don't have C2 Nahida? Alright. Let's set up again here. Let's get these quack, quack, quack sores. Oh, God. I just... Do something. I gotta auto-attack with you. I gotta put your E down. No! Yes, gotta quicken you. Non-crit, of course. I don't want overloads to trigger. I don't think they affect anything. Oh, ER. Oh, ER. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. This is the stupidest thing on God's green earth. Let's see what the damage bonuses are. Oh, of course I can't check them in Abyss. That's what's stupid about Abyss. You can't actually test things in here. Let's see how this team does. It's probably going to yoink right through this. Even though they got suboptimal weapons. Weep. Weep. 153, eh? And I'm running her on a level 44. Raku Mitsugiri. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. Alright. Now we get the real test. We don't want to take boosts. She's not. She's not C3. She's C2. I gotta quicken these guys. Hey, 156. There we go. Highest kirara number. Not really. I hit 167 before. Why is that not as high? Let me think. Is that because my Kujosara is not buffed and I'm not using xilonen or something? Was I using xilonen before to boost? No. What was I doing before? How did I hit the 167, Dory? Was it because it was on Cryo Regisfine and that naturally has a lot of weaknesses in the overworld? No, I have, when I test, I don't take the Buffing Abyss cards. I typically always do floor 11 or floor 12, and I know for a fact it didn't hit a higher number on floor 12. I'm sure. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. Oh, God, I don't have enough ER for this setup. God damn it. The nice thing about 2 Electros is you do have a lot of ER. And these guys just have stupid resistances. So let's build the bursts back up and try this out. Do they? I didn't know that. There's so much resistance. Okay, let's see what these guys have. So you got to auto attack with Kuki to proc Peak Patrol Song like 2 to 3 times. Right? You gotta quicken the enemy, and then you can do that. Okay, that, I don't think crit, or these guys just have a lot of resistance. Yeah, 20k elemental skill hits is what it's gonna be close to with only a level 11 skill. Yeah, those 10Ks are the crits because of the the spread damage. It was on Overworld, I'm pretty sure, on Cryo Regisfine. I don't think I did it in here. Oh, that's annoying. All right, let's go try floor 12. Yeah, you should hit more now that you have C6, but that was... So before I was using... What did I use on Overworld Regisfine? Didn't I use, like, Tenacity Albedo with Peak Patrol Song over Kuki? And I was using somebody else for Aggravate proc or something ridiculous. Let me go charge up my bursts. Oh, we had Mona. Dude, I just hit a 157 without Mona. Ooh. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it was Tenacity Albedo with Peak Patrol Song, who I was using just to proc frequent elemental skill hits for tenacity. But I think Kujo Sara can trigger it, right? Because Kujo Sara can trigger it. Unless Tenacity Albedo is just better than Kuki. Yeah, but how am I going to get them quickened, though? What was I doing to quicken them? Was I running Kuki with Dendro Res? Or was I running Mona with Dendro Res? I was running Mona with Noblesse. I don't think I used Nagita in the nuke team, though. And Cryo Registine was in its downed form on Overworld. So Mona potential is probably higher now. I was using... Was I not even using Aggravate? Was I just doing pure Dendro damage? Nahida, Albedo, Kujasara. Nahida, Albedo. Yeah, Mona wasn't even higher. Oh, that was the first time I reached above 100k. How would I work Mona in, though? Because Mona's not better than Bennett. Would I have to run Tenacity Mona? Tenacity Mona is how I would fit it in. But that makes the enemy wet. Wait, but doesn't her ult proc it anyways? Alright, okay. This has 3 seconds, can be triggered every 0.5. Okay. Tenacity Mona, it is. This is so dumb. Kujo Sara gives the crit buff, but I'm pretty sure currently Mona's stronger. And that's what we figured out. Tenacity Mona, baby. This is so dumb. Because I already have Noblesse Bennett. And since we're running Tenacity Mona, I don't need to run Albedo because he was Tenacity. And I've got Peak Patrol Song covered by Kuki. And I got Dendro Resistance Shred covered by Kuki as well. This is AIDS. ER and burst cooldown reduction. It's really good. And it's not double electro, it's single electro. You don't need 2 electro. You just need 1 electro source sample for that. It's just 1 electro source sample. You only need 1 of each character to generate a source sample. Given, you know, you have multiple characters and whatnot. Oh yeah, Mona Burst is going to take forever to charge up because I don't have EM particles. Alright, let's redo this. I must have an ER off-piece something. This doesn't scale her ult, I don't think. This is fine, it doesn't matter. I had that ER off-piece Glad Sands that's going right on her. Because I am not farming for energy without elemental recharge. Yeah, there's nothing over here I can kill. God damn it. Why do you gotta be so annoying, game? This stuff, trying to nuke with Kirara is the stupidest thing known to God ever. But it works. With Tenacity, Mona, Noblesse Bennett, and Deepwood freaking Kuki with Peak Patrol Song built to defense. Okay, my Mona's weak. I need a shield. Actually, that's not going to do anything. How often does her skill proc here? Let's see. You saw me pull for who? Oh, Kirara? I did not intentionally pull for Kirara. That just ended up happening because I was being an idiot and just pulling on the standard banner for fun. That was me being a goofball, and somehow that happened. I had no, like anything of expecting to get C6 Kirara, but that just happened. I mean, the chances of that happening are greater than probably me pulling a 5-star, which is insane. Or me pulling the 5-star that I want on a limited banner or something like that. All right. So I need burst, skill, this, quicken. That's bloom. No, there's 144. Shit. This can go higher. That was only bloom. There was no quicken there. Shit. Yeah, that's probably around the same time. God damn it. I have to go recharge my bursts because I triggered bloom and not quicken. Wait, does tenacity proc only when an elemental skill hits an opponent? Yes. Only increases for 3 seconds. I don't have time to do Bennett rotation. Shit. Unless I defense tenacity, Kooky, Dendro, Herb, because that's elemental skills or bursts. This is so annoying. I might not be able to get quick into trigger if Mona's proccing bursts or blooms. It might be more effective to freaking have stupid frickin' other stuff. That's annoying. No energy. If I have to go to normal Deepwood Mona and then defense tenacity again on Kooky, I'm going to shoot somebody. And strip my Albedo down. I don't want to strip any more characters. I just don't want to trigger Bloom again. Smacking Hill Trolls for frickin' burst energy is annoying. Wait, I just realistically need to walk into them with Kirara's shield. I can wait a second because Mona... Well, no, because Mona will proc so frequently. I can get over 157. That was 144 without spread. So, this is possible, I think. For Overworld. Which is stupid. Isn't there an attack buff for Makilo Fab? Wait. That's not team-wide attack. Bennett. Mona skill. Mona burst. Kooky. Auto. Quicken. It didn't crit! I forgot it could freaking do that. I want to bash my head in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to clip it. It's going to be a TikTok short. I'm going to be lazy. Dude, I have like 50% crit rate on Kirara, dude. 54. Come on. Come on. I just need to get this done, and then I can stop streaming for the day, and then it will be perfect and easy and wonderful. This just needs to happen, and then I'll be good to go. Oh, yeah, I could just use crit rate food. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing it raw dog. Yep, thanks, Jason. Meat, coop, yep, okay. Dory told me the same thing yesterday when I was trying to test something else out. I just always forget that it exists. No, don't kill the churls. Just explode. Just explode. Just explode. Okay, these are my hella churls. Don't kill them. Nope, I gotta TP away. I gotta TP away. This is crit rate food for the people who say, oh, you're using food, not impressive. What I'll do is I'll click on the food buff beforehand. So in the clip, I'll show me eating the food buff or whatever. I don't know. Really? That didn't give me enough particles? Christ. Alright. So eat the food buff when I get down there. Make my life nice and easy. Okay? I can get like an extra 20%. You know what? Nobody on the internet really gives a shit if you eat a food buff anyways. Yeah, I know, right? If you show you eating a food buff, I'm pretty sure they don't care. Deluxe specialty. This one. The meat lovers pie. This is the only one I can buff, right? There's a defense food. There is a defense food that I can eat for Kooky, right? This and this. That'll buff Peak Patrol Song. Alright. Yeah, no, I don't want to do just crit rate. People can deal with the extra 20% crit damage. Proc. Get rid of Electrocharge. Quicken. Burst. Why is that less? What didn't get triggered? Maybe Tenacity ran out. Interesting. Well, okay, whatever. Let's go see what this can do in the overworld and get rid of Mona. Let me go find a ley line. Not that one. This one. I'm extra. I want to be extra. Because no other content creators are well, Genshin content creators are as unhinged as I am. Because I like to think I'm unobjectively an asshole when it comes to making content. Sometimes. So I have Tenacity Mona, meaning I need Tenacity somebody else, meaning it's going to be Tenacity Kujo-Sara in the overworld. Because I don't want Bloom at all. No. So the Crystallize buff. Wait, does Albedo give a Crystallize buff? Stop making me curious. Could be that. That could be boosting Kirara's EM, which is boosting Aggravate. I don't think... I think the only thing that boosts it is a C4. No, C2. What? C6. His C6 is the Crystallized buff. The weapon itself, Peak Patrol Song, has nothing to do with any type of reaction. It's just normal air plunging attacks. What you're thinking of maybe is Scroll Hero of the Cinder City, having to have an elemental reaction, which would have to be a crystallized reaction with xilonen. But where on earth would I fit in xilonen in the team? I would have to take out either Bennett or Mona, which don't make sense, and I still need a Quicken. I think I was wrong, to be completely honest, because when I was recording and editing the video, I looked back and I was like, this doesn't quite make sense. When I was saying it, I was like, this is a little weird. I think I was wrong. Pretty sure I was wrong. Because Tenacity is just elemental skill hits an opponent. It doesn't require any sort of reaction at all. Crystallize happens from his elemental skill, but it doesn't require a reaction, weirdly enough. And I just want to make sure I still have Black Cliff on her. Yeah, okay. Is this thing going to show up, or did I already clear it and I just didn't claim it? Fuck. The reason why I'm killing these ones is because of the goddamn Saurian mats. Every one of these that I kill is less Saurian mats I have to grab in the long run. Okay. Off to Fontaine. And the reason why I don't do the ones in Mondstadt is because the goddamn enemy level is lower. Alright, Dory, I'll see ya. Take it easy. Alright. This will probably be it for me, too, once I see how this does in the overworld. Now that Kirara is C6... This guy just has some sort of an emo resistance, right? This is probably a fine test. Let's just get Bennett up here. I think she zips around quite a bit, though, which is a little annoying. But she's a high HP enemy. Does she do anything funky that I don't know about? Okay, we don't really need Kirara's Burst for this rotation. We just need Quicken. There's a 40k. Okay, those are the numbers I want to see. Because when Kujo-Sara hits opponent with skill, that gives me 3 seconds to do whatever I want. Why is... Oh, Bond of Life? Really? That's weird. Quicken, Aggravate, 76k without Bennett. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty good for Overworld. Because I'm using goddamn Tenacity Kujo-Sara for the Christ's sakes. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think I'm content with that. I think this is my Kirara team, for the most part, for Overworld. And then there's Hyperbloom. But fuck Hyperbloom. I'm not building EM Kirara. I'm stubborn, and I'm not doing it. So yeah. Alright, guys. Says I have 7 concurrent viewers. I mean, who knows? But have a good day, guys. I'm going to be putting a video out later tonight. I'll probably try and get a short out or something revolving around today's stream. Not too sure what I'm going to be doing later for tonight's video, but we'll get something going out. So I hope you guys take it easy, and I will be on tomorrow streaming in the morning, probably from 7 Eastern time to around 11. All right. Cheers, everybody.